As we had last left it off, the party had managed to find their way towards Half-Orc, a place owned by the Drow and their matron, Ulara Vel. Following rumours given to you by stone giants, a couple of knuckleheads, to say the least, on the way, you would learn that the Drow were currently engaged in combat with the Myrianites, who you've come to learn is your potential prey. Upon realising that Ulara and the Drow were engaged with the Myrianites, Talion let slip of the tongue that he was aware the Crown was aware of the Tarask, and that Clan Vel safeguarded it or kept it under wraps, and that the Crown knew never to interact with the Drow in this area. The fact that the Myrianites are in open combat with them disturbed him greatly, and beseeched you to come with him to Half-Orc in order to put an end to whatever is happening here, so that the Tarask stayed sleeping. You did make your way there, and along the way, you learned that Cain, the ancestor of Korgrin, was the one who originally imprisons the Tarask, and that the duty of the Drow to protect the Tarask was given to them by Cain. And so, using that, you were able to get your way inside, and they took you straight to their matron, their leader, the matron known as Ulara Vel, who was extremely... How do I use this in a PG-13 way?
Seductive.
Suggestive.
Vexatious, I think.
Remember that we're all over 18, you don't need to do it a PG-13 way?
She was a sexually open individual, not paying much attention to, shall we say, social restrictions upon things. And she was immediately interested in Korgrin. But however, the rest of the party did spike her in as well. And you were able to formulate a tentative alliance at best. She plans to attack the Myrianites, who have taken over the labyrinth, the gateway towards the gorge, which is where the Tarask sleeps. When she attacks in force, she would like you, the party, to slip by unnoticed, taking the most direct path towards the shrine and towards the Staff of Cain, which keeps the Tarask in place. She has warned you, however, not to interact with the spirit that resides around that staff, as it must focus on its task of keeping the Tarask asleep. It was then that, in order to apply some extra information out of her, some accommodation, some rest, she demanded to have one of you there and then. And a hot debate over who it would be took place, until eventually Korgrin valiantly rose to the task. And that was the last you guys saw of him.
Korgrin, roll new character sheet. He's never seen off again.
However, the rest of the party has been taken outside the palace, and you are now in the streets of Half-Orc. You have a long rest ahead of you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go shopping for a shield. Do they have some sort of blacksmithy type guy?
Yes, they do. They certainly have blacksmiths available. Shields would be a standard PHB price down here. And they do
I will,
trade in normal gold.
I will take a standard shield. Danke.
Ooh.
Jade as in the component,
If
or
we
Jade
can
as
find a
in...
woman called Jade, then let's go.
Not interested unless he's called Jade.
Arrows are also available, standard PHB prices. And with the component for the Jade, I would like you to make an investigation check, please, Verity. You are able to find a rare component salesman in the market. He doesn't have a lot of it. How much exactly are you looking for? Yeah, I'd say he has about 40 gold worth, to be honest.
Does he have diamonds?
Okay. He doesn't have diamonds. However, there are plenty of fanciful jewelers in the town itself who do deal in such a thing. How many diamonds are you looking for?
At least like 300 gold's worth, but
They do have 3 diamonds worth between 400 to 600 gold pieces each.
ooh. It only takes the one 300, doesn't it? 300
Yes.
gold's worth of diamond for the thingy spell.
Yeah, it has to be worth at least 300.
At least. So I guess we go for the 400 gold one. Do we want just one, or should we get more?
Seems a waste to use more than 400. To use more than 300 gold for it. So if it's just one diamond, it's worth that much. Then yeah, just get the 400 gold
For
one.
now, yeah.
Unless we're all expecting to die,
Who knows?
which I'm always expecting to die, because I often do.
Right. I guess
I'll take it out the bag.
Yeah, steal the money from the bag.
Alright, so just mark that down in the bag. So yeah, that's generally from the tent markets, shall we say? Just from these are items that you're easily able to acquire just by walking around the immediate area. Standard traders, nothing of particular note shoots out at you. But that's purely because you're probably looking around the wandering traders stock.
Hmm. Anything else we need, guys?
I could try and sell some of these components that are still in the bag. Still in the bag.
Like, is there any much point in getting components for future spells? Because I know that we had an issue when we entered the cave where Verity had a spell but couldn't use it because we didn't have the components. I assume that's what the Jade was for, but is there anything else?
Yeah.
I know I'm saying to preempt things, but just buy all the components that could actually be used.
Not the worst idea. Better to be prepared. I don't think I have anything that takes particularly expensive stuff. Most of my spells are a bit of dust, a drop of water.
A cow's fart.
Gotta get that high methane.
It's all about the bat guano for your fireball.
It's really explosive. Big spellcasty boys.
Well, Otti, if you're looking to sell the components, none of the wandering traders would have that, but they do direct you to a more established tradesperson of the city, someone who's got, or the town, someone who's got a more permanent place of commerce.
I'm well up for getting rid of all this crap.
So, Otti, you'll head off towards the established shop of.
If we're not all going together, then I'll definitely take Rennas with me to, make sure that nothing in Elvish is slagging me off.
Okay.
Apart from me. I immediately slag Otti off in Elvish.
I can speak Elvish. I punch you.
Whoops.
Talion's going to take a wander down.
Why are you taking Bella?
Talion's going to take a wander down to the slave area, actually.
Is he researching our plan, or the possible plan of buying someone that could use a magical teleportation circle to get us out of here?
Basically, yeah.
Okie doke.
So, that's where he's going to go off to. Arri, Verity, what's your destinations? So there are three places of main interest in Arrabella that are aside from Lara's Tower. That is effectively the slave stocks. There is the Lolth temple area where the vast majority of the priestesses live, pray, and beseech the word of Lolth. Alternatively, you can just continue looking around the market area for any goodies or such like that.
I'm happy to look around and see if there's goodies. If not, pub. Because I can't now in real life, so I'm going to live vicariously through Harry.
Sounds good. I can drown my sorrows that Korgrin's off with. Oh, sorry, I'm going with Otti, aren't I? Sorry.
So Arrabella and Verity will head off and continue wandering around the market area, whilst Rennas, Otti, and Bellatrix will head off towards the established shop. Okay, so Rennas, Otti, and Bellatrix, following the directions given to you, and you are on guard because they are given to you by individuals who clearly look like they would rather stab you in the back in an alleyway than actually give you directions. So
they look like me.
You, but way more shiftier. You have your, shall we say, let's just have you have your hands ready by your weapons, and you're on guard whilst walking throughout the streets. Quite occasionally, Bella, a little bit of cobweb will get caught in your hair.
Yeah.
It is, unfortunately, an accepted thing around here. Eventually, however, you do find an established shop. Wandering inside, you can see a silver-haired drow male individual, cloaked but with his hood down. He's currently sort of just playing with a few items at the moment that seem to be giving off a purplish kind of mist. He sees you come in, he says, surfacers. Welcome. What can I do you for?
Surface is bringing wonderful treasures from the surface, and I gesture to Otti in her bag.
A bag of holding. How much are you selling that for?
It is its contents, or some of its contents, we should be selling, not the bag itself. We do have another bag of holding that someone else has got somewhere, if you want to try and sell that one. Who's got that bag?
Harry's got that.
We've got two.
We haven't got it with us.
One, and Harry's got the bag of holding.
Yeah, I was going to try and sell that one, at least find out what the heck it was.
AKA ballsack bag.
Ballsack bag.
What manner of components or items do you bring to me to them?
I'd put. Do we just put a list of everything in the thing
Yeah.
I'm looking to get rid of? It might.
It's a hoard of items hard won in battle, as adventurers tend to do.
He's certainly interested in the poison glands.
Thought he might be.
Good glab.
Glab.
And damage glab.
That's
Damage
the,
dab, actually.
That's the Glabrazu, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he would be interested in that as well, actually.
And probably the vial of the dragon blood just to try and like pique his interest.
Vial of dragon blood.
We have one vial of young white dragon blood.
Where do we get that from?
The white
A
dragon.
young white dragon.
In
Yeah,
the
he would be.
rogue cave. And
It would
cave.
be a little bit off by now, but it's the dragon's blood does have magical properties, so it's still usable. So he wouldn't pay full price for it, but he'll still take it. I see. And are you looking to trade or to sell?
What wonderful items do you have for us to trade for?
Well, I have a great deal of poisons available to tickle your fancy. But I have more practical items for individuals of your caliber. I have some healing potions I'm sure you relish the opportunity to take with you in your travel.
They're always helpful.
Currently I've got 5 common healing potions. I have 3 greater. And I have 1 superior.
Nice. Is that all you've got? Just the healing potions?
I have a few other items of interest.
Hit me, what you got?
Well, you certainly look like you enjoy weapons.
Mm.
I have a magical spear,
Ooh.
if that sparks your fancy. It hits harder, it does a little bit more damage than most other spears. Nothing particularly amazing about it, but it's a reliable weapon to say the least.
It's pretty cool.
I also have some chainmail available that has been enchanted to resist the foulest of necromancy. I also
Okay.
have a couple of spell scrolls.
What are we
I've
talking
got a
about?
few. Well, I've got a number of spell scrolls, but the vast majority of my stuff I don't think would be of any significant use for you. However, I do have 2 that might stake interest. I have a spell scroll of magic circle, and I have a spell scroll of modify memory.
Ooh. Well,
All very valuable items, of course.
Indeed. Right,
I'm not interested because they're bits of paper. They're paper with writing on them. I don't care.
Magic, I don't want to use it, but I'm interested in modifying people's memories. I mean, that sounds very useful for a rogue like me. Catches me stealing? No, he didn't.
Neither of them are rituals? Question mark.
Magic
You think so?
circle is
Magic
just a 1 minute.
Yeah.
One. Modify memory is an action. Yeah, it's an action. None of them are rituals.
Okay.
It's just pulsating his fingers back, pressing over the next. Well,
I'll turn to those 2 and just be like, any good, you think?
I would
mean,
be
they sound
interested. Yes. I feel that we can probably find a use for them.
I'm also very aware that we are very limited on healing potions at the moment.
Oh yeah, we'd take the healing potions too.
Yeah.
I think we'd be probably paying a fair bit of gold on top of our items.
Well, with the components and the items that you've brought to me today, I'd be willing to pay you upwards of 150 of your surface gold points.
I mean, that's
Stuff we've
a
got in the bag.
reasonable. Yeah. How much for your scrolls?
For both of them,
Yes. Fair, we probably take all the healing potions as well. Well, we are taking all the healing potions. We may as well see what the scrolls are worth.
if you wish to take all of the healing potions, all of the scrolls, I'll give you the fair price. 8,500 gold.
8,000? That seems excessive. What's the
Yeah.
most expensive item in this little pile of things?
Well, that would certainly be the superior. That in and of itself is worth several thousand. It's extremely potent.
To admit, we've only used the common and
Well, your
the
common
common and
healing-
greater and superior.
Well, your common healing potions are worth 50 pieces each, and your
Yes.
greater healing potions are worth 250 each.
How much HP does a superior do?
8d8 plus, sorry, 8d4 plus 8.
Quite a lot.
Well, do we have a deal? If you give me all of the items, I'll bump that down to 8,350 gold.
Tell you what, we're all friends here. We're bringing you some lovely things. 8,000 is a lot of money. 8,000 cash. Handshake deal done right now.
Make a persuasion roll.
I mean, it's not even a 1% discount. That should easily work. 30.
8,000. Very well. You have a deal.
Nice.
Okay, so you can put in your inventory.
I say, what did we
Spell
actually
scroll.
just buy?
You bought 2 spell scrolls of Magic Circle and Modify Memory, and these potions. I still have the spear and the chainmail resistance, if you are interested.
Heavy armour isn't something a lot of our party wears, and the one member that does wear it mostly is very fitted out with some fantastic armour.
Well,
Spear would be down to Bellatrix here. She is the most likely one to wield it.
it is a shame.
I don't think it's really my jam. I appreciate it though.
Of course, well, let's hope you don't run into anything that masters death against you.
I'm sure we probably will, and we probably should take it. But peace. We don't.
Very well. Please come back if you have any more
Sure thing,
interesting
dude.
things to sell.
Well, we're heading into this labyrinth thing tomorrow. Do you know anything about that? Is there any creatures in there that we could potentially bring back some components from that you'd be interested in?
The creatures in the labyrinth are there because the great god Cain put them there. If I find out that you have harmed any of them, I will blacklist you from every store in the city. If you try to bring me any part of a creature that belongs inside that, if you try and sell to me, I will call the guards and we will sell you into slavery.
I mean, just to be clear, we're being sent in there by Alara for a mission, and as much as these lovely beasts may be there because of Cain, if they attack us, I think we have to defend ourselves.
Well,
I have no intention of
that's
hunting
not
them.
that's not for me to judge, but know that anything you may acquire from these creatures inside the labyrinth will have no value here.
Go.
Good to know. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
I've like scruffed him and like taken him outside.
Good old Rennas making friends everywhere I go.
Many thanks.
What's the name of his shop?
Do you read Elvish?
I read Elvish. If you would like to ask me what the name
I
of his
did
shop is.
bring the elf so that we could read so that Elvish.
The elf has a name, and he's half elf. Thank you.
The eight-legged poison.
Ooh.
Mm.
Fun names. Fun names.
I don't like that.
I was told I wasn't allowed to buy poison.
Thin spot spiders down here. I hate it.
He had some fucking good poisons as well, man. But you don't want to go anywhere near that stuff, do you?
I really don't. It's not Renas's jam. It's, you know.
There would be just
Definitely not his jam.
Him rolling a 1 and poisoning himself. That's the problem.
Apply poison to my blood.
You no good with it.
What she always says. Apparently no one else heard her say, no touchy, no touchy.
No.
I don't know this because I have her muted, so I just assumed she was saying truthful.
Verity is typing. Type faster, Verity. Well, to be fair, necrotic resistance would also be pretty useful, because if we're going up against necromancers, I'm only going to want potions of necrotic resistance.
Alright, so. Arrabella and Verity, you guys start walking around the markets of Arrabella. Is there anything in particular that you guys are trying to keep your eyes open for, or are you just seeing what there is to see?
Kitties.
Just seeing what there is to see. First time in a underdog town.
Well, I'd like you to both of you make investigation checks for me, please. So, walking around, you can clearly see that there are a lot of back alley deals here. Lots of transactions happening in the shadows of the towers. Obviously, there is a lot of bioluminescent light that springs up from the base of this cavern that bounces off the roof and kind of gives everything a little bit of an ominous bluish, purpley glow. But there are various torches around that just kind of illuminates the path. You can see the half drow, half spider-like individuals. They patrol around on the rooftops. They are given a wide berth by the other guards. Kind of, you get the sense that they are individual, that they're different in more ways than one. Not that they're celebrated or anything, but they certainly have an air of begrudging respect about them. Asking around, you can easily find out that the Driders are priestesses, followers of Lolth, who received her divine blessing, failed to control her power, and as such were cursed to become like that. And they fulfill a function in Drow society, but they are failures in the eyes of many Drow. So there's a bit of a mixed reception on them, to say the least. You find a number of stalls that sell surfaces stuff. bits and bobs that have been found. You can see sickles. You find a few musical instruments. But ultimately, you don't find anything that really sticks out to you as special or unique.
Okay.
So, I'd say after a little while, it's not a particularly big town, and you all stick out like a sore thumb. So, Rennas, Otti, and Bellatrix, you guys are able to meet up with Arrabella and Verity back in the market area again.
Nice.
Well, did you find anything fun?
Nah, not really. Did you guys have any luck?
I offended a poison seller.
That's probably the worst kind of seller that you want to offend right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fair one. I didn't do it deliberately. I just, we bought all our components off him. We bought some potions off him. We've got some lovely potions and a couple of scrolls. I could make you forget that we had the scrolls, but I can only do it once, so I won't do that. Not allowed the scrolls. Not allowed anything fun besides magic sucks. Yeah, semi-successful, but don't offer to any of the animals in the labyrinth because apparently they're quite fond of them around here.
Okay.
Put there by Cain himself and blah-de-blah-de-blah, like we cared. I just said if they attack us, you've got to attack them back. Self-defense.
I imagine we'd probably harvest them too, but I guess maybe don't try and sell them.
But if we do, don't sell them here. Yeah, sell them topside, it's fine.
Okay. Let's hope we make it to topside. Anyway, where's the pub? There's got to be a pub. Surely Drow drink. They got to drink.
I look like that. I drink every day.
Having a quick look around, you find the best rendition of a pub. It's more of a tapper area. They sell beverages and food, but it's more of a, I don't know, kind of like a drive-through beer place.
Can't drink and drive.
Right,
It's like the worst combination of things to have.
It's basically like you walk in, you buy the alcohol, and then you continue on your way. There's nowhere to sit down or anything like that. But they can sell you mugs and ales and stuff like that to put the liquid in, but there's nowhere to sit down or anything.
We're given rooms by Alara, were we not? Or told we could stay here?
You could stay here, but they were not given rooms.
Okay, so we could buy a bunch of beer and go find the inn, is the word I'm looking for, which presumably is around here somewhere. Maybe a hotel, but some kind of inn or hotel without a bar.
Having a quick ask around, there is one place that you can stay at that rents out beds. But the general sense that you get from the locals is that, well, you surfacers might not find yourselves very comfortable.
We could just pitch up a tent just outside the walls. That's not a euphemism. I'm suggesting an actual tent that we put up, people. I think maybe a tent might be more relaxing than whatever this weird anti-surfacer bed situation they've got going on. Are we all intrigued?
I don't want to know why it wouldn't be comfortable for us.
I am curious.
They're going to turn away any gold, even if it is surfacer gold. I don't think they're going to turn it away.
They don't care They don't care that you're surfacers. They just merely suggested that as surfacers, you wouldn't particularly find it comfortable.
Is it all spiders? I bet it's all spiders.
There may be webs involved.
We're just going to sit down somewhere.
Sure, I'm glad I don't have this problem.
You have your own things to worry about right now.
You've got cuddles to worry about.
The surfaces
Oh.
can go anywhere. Like, you've been given free reign of the place by Ulara, and that word has spread, otherwise the guards may have stopped you a while ago.
What do you reckon, guys? Weird bed situation or tents outside?
Just fucking
Going
break
for
into
either.
someone's house.
Yeah, that's a
free
great
reign of
idea.
Let's
Thanks for
not do
breathing.
that.
Bella's like, yeah, alright. No, it's not.
No, let's just go to wherever they said. We'll just wing it.
Off to the weird bed situation.
Okay.
Buy a thing. We're buying. I've bought, say, bottles of wine. I have to drink them all tonight, but yeah.
Bella might
Because
have
we're
to
buying-
try and
yeah.
sleep.
From the Tapper place.
I had a complete
Oh.
brain fart. I was like, where did you just steal those from?
So, the wine will go through. Will go for 5 gold pieces a bottle,
Okie doke.
and they have a kind of a craggy taste about them.
I'll ask the wine seller what this wine is made from.
Oh, it's made from some of the finest mushrooms and berry fruits in the Underdark, and just for flavour, maybe a little bit of life essence from willing participants.
Are they definitely willing?
Well, they were paid.
Okay.
It's
It's all for free choice of legally sound minds.
Blood wine.
Want to sell their life essence for wine? Crack on.
fucking blood wine.
Glug glug.
Sounds interesting. Bella's down.
So,
I was really worried it was piss. Really worried. I was like, oh my god, he pissed in a bottle.
So, you guys make your way over to the inn that has been mentioned to you. And it's half a structure, half a cobweb, but pretty big.
Mm.
And you can see a number of people who are staying at the moment are wrapped up as if they've been basically taken captive by spiders to be fed upon by those things. It seems that a normal thing here to sleep in this kind of inn is to be completely and utterly covered in spider's web and stuck onto the spider's web, and until your allocated time is up, in which case a spider will come, undo the restraints on you, and let you go. Unless your gold is no good, or you, in which case the spider may or may not just feast on you.
I
The
hate it.
proprietor,
I
the
hate
proprietor is a quaggoth. You've met one of these
Oh.
things before.
That's the
Paley,
slave thing.
hairy skin, quite muscular, long toothed and clawed. However, this one is dressed up in finer clothes. He goes, "Welcome to the Death's Respite. Are you looking to stay for a while?"
Do you have any options that are less webby?
You can sleep on
Leaves
the
our hands and
floor.
mouths free for a drink.
No, I just don't like.
He spits on the floor.
Oh.
Surfaces. You can sleep on the floor if you wish, but I can't guarantee that the spiders on the floor are as well trained.
I hate this place. I don't like it. Can we go tent? The tent thing sounds great. Rennas. That's
I mean, yeah, like I would happily do the whole cocoon thing, but unfortunately, I then can't drink. I mean, but love the setup you've got here. Great idea. I hope it catches on more places. Just not tonight. Thanks anyway.
Very well. Come back soon.
Thanks, I won't.
So you guys leave the Death's Respite.
Just about to
Verity
say,
said how
is
much.
I think
Verity
Verity wants to
Verity
stay.
skiing?
Sticks around.
He wants to
And
stay.
he goes, oh, for you, 5 silver for 8 hours.
You don't even sleep.
Just gonna sit there completely awake, staring at this cocoon.
You don't even sleep.
I mean, I'm assuming George is laughing at the moment, but
One would hope.
I like to live in the illusion that I could be sleeping.
you can choose to sleep if you want. You just choose not to.
I'm not going to sleep. I just want to be cocooned up in a web for 8 hours.
Bella is
Well,
judging
you have that. You have that option available to you for 5 silver.
Done.
Okay, if
We'll see you in 8 hours.
if Verity's staying, I'm gonna slip her the
Oh.
shut up. The
Getting jealous.
Yeah.
amulet with the red heart and the small medallion with the golden skull and red eyes.
Righto.
For me to identify. Like, can
Yeah,
I
if
move
you
in this web at all, or am I going to be, like, stuck in it?
You're going to be restrained for 8 hours.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do an identify on these 2 things first.
Yep. Go ahead and make a Arcana check for me, please.
Arcana.
Yes, please.
There, Connor.
Acorna.
Okay, so
Karna.
Okay.
one of them, you've heard of this item. It's a periaptive wound closure. While wearing this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. And in addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of hit points it restores.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I mean, I'm going to hold it, and, like, due to the first statement, I'm just going to kind of look to Rennas and be like,
You.
I mean,
The
Boy.
I
other,
have died the most.
the other one is a medallion of thoughts. The medallion has 3 charges. While wearing it, you can use an action and expend 1 charge to cast Detect Thoughts spell. The medallion regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
I would like to vote for this one to myself.
It's an attunement item.
Stay out of my head.
Which item is it which gives me... lets me see?
Medallion of Thoughts.
No, the other one.
Wound
No, I heard what it did.
Of-
I missed which item it was.
Peripassive wound closure.
Yeah.
Okay, amulet with red heart. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to
You
walk around with
stabilize
heart on my
when you
sleeve.
don't
But...
find
Yeah, there's the spell save DC for the Medallion of Thoughts is 13. Just so you know.
Oh. Well, I give them back to Otti, and I'm like, we can decide that later. I'm going to my cocoon now.
So
I've given him the money.
The Kragoff has counted the money carefully. He goes, Barnaby. You hear this sound above you, and you look up, and you can see this gigantic spider just slowly sifting down towards you. It lifts you up in its legs, basically kind of makes you kind of horizontal in the air and starts spinning you on the spot as it slowly starts webbing you. It only takes a couple of minutes before you are completely and utterly restrained. The only thing that you're able to have is effectively a mouth hole to breathe. You are dragged upwards into darkness and placed
As
on
I'm
one of
being
the webs.
spun, I'm just going to like, well, good night.
Well,
Right.
well.
See you tomorrow. Bye. That's pretty much it.
You were placed on the web, and you are left there.
Grinning the whole time.
That's fucking weird, Verity.
It's everything I wanted. I didn't even know I wanted it until you said it.
Well, let me tell you, you're gonna wish you had your Arrabella.
I'm working with the next best thing I'm offered, okay?
That's exactly where Korgrin is right now. So there's 2 of them in the cocoon. That's what
I would
Cuddles
say
did
at this point, it's been over an hour. Korgrin, you are let go from the palace, and you are able to go about your business.
I crawl away.
Are you able to walk yet?
I'm a changed man.
Oh no!
Did you tell them what happened to you?
No,
Nope.
that's gonna be now.
Well, you're going to get all the tokens, just so you know.
There's several bottles of blood wine.
There we go. You got all the tokens.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
They're good
Yeah,
tokens or bad
I'm
tokens?
clenching my fucking asshole. Just this was not what I was expecting.
Oh no!
It was just torture, but with extra steps. Oh.
There's not even none of your companions are around you at the moment. You're just literally saying this as you're
I'm
walking away.
The guards are like, yeah, back to
The
post.
guards, they do. You do get a sense that they pity you for maybe a moment.
I mean, don't they just pity anything that isn't a drow anyway? But down the fucking castle steps, each step is just.
Eventually, you are able to get back. You are into the priestess part of the town. What is your intention, Korgrin? Are you just going to try and meet up with the rest of the party?
I think that's all I have in me right now. I don't think, no matter how disciplined an individual you are, there's nothing after that. There's just bed. No. Yeah. There's sleep. And just...
Well, the descriptions you give for your companions are pretty easily noticeable. And you are able to get directions. I would say by the time you catch up to them, it's right around the time the party is actually leaving the gates to pitch up tents just outside the walls. So the rest of you, just as you're about to leave the gates, you can see a shining golden armoured dwarf looking all kinds of violated, limping towards you.
I just push past everything.
Corky.
I grab Rennas by the collar. You would have died. The things she did to me.
I've died twice. I guarantee that would have been the best one yet.
She used poison to make my dick hard for an hour. You would have died.
If it's hard for 3 hours, you need to find a doctor and report it to them.
I'm still stiff.
Well, you've got 2 hours. If in 2 hours it's still stiff, you need to seek medical attention.
He is the medical attention, Rennas.
Lesser restoration on my dick.
Have you ever had a spider's talon massage your prostate? While you
I'm covering Bella's ears at the moment.
There was me all sad that I missed out.
The spider hairs to tickle me armpits.
You can clearly tell he's got lots of cuts and bruises on him as well. The guy, that Korgrin's been quite literally attacked.
Just in Rennas' ear, I didn't even come.
That's just outrageous. I could have a word with her. I can't do that to you.
Oh, Christ. I'm tempted to play some sad music right now.
Just let him go. Just shuffle out the gate.
Oh,
Come. We're going to stick a tent outside because the only sleeping option inside is some weird spider web scenario, which we thought was a little
More
bit weird.
webs.
But George just jumped straight in there.
More webs.
Oh, sorry, Verity jumped straight in there.
She doesn't know what she's signing up for. We've got to save her.
I mean, I think she's just sleeping in a web, although it's Verity, so she doesn't actually sleep. I don't think there's any prostate tickling going on in those webs. I could be wrong, but that certainly wasn't on the services menu.
At that point, I'd just taken my hands away from Bella's ears and quickly put them back on.
You know what the funny thing is? You thought that was a spider prostate. Oh, dear. However, you are able to, with Korgrin silently sobbing on the side, you're all able to set up a few tents just outside the gates. The
I
guards,
passed Korgrin a bottle of blood wine while we make the tents.
the guards do keep an eye on you, but they're like, whatever, surface can't deal with proper Drow society, so let them have their week, sort of thing.
Look, it's not my fault. Their silly sleeping system doesn't allow you to drink while you're in bed.
Well,
So
it's not
their
their fault. It's not their fault. You can't afford a house and buy a bed.
We can't afford one.
Come on,
We've got like
come on.
21 grand in the thing. We could probably buy a house here right now, but who the fuck wants to come back here?
The Drow do.
I'm going to try and cheer Korgrin up, and I'm going to knock very lightly on the floor, bend over and knock on the floor, and be like, hello, and just don't even wait for it to answer.
1,000-yard stare.
Don't even let it jump, and just put my hand underneath the tent and give him the diamond and be like, we found something for you.
Hello,
Do you think it would help?
my old friend?
Oh, wait, I can't. I said I could kill you and then bring you back, but then we can't bring you back if we kill you. I thought maybe if you came back, you'd feel better.
Arri just lights her pipe, takes a puff to make sure it's caught, and then hands the pipe over to Korgrin.
Forgot you guys had pipes. Gonna pour blood wine down his neck.
You need some mushrooms, Korgrin.
I'm going to use a little bit of Kia Tom's ointment. Not enough to expend a charge, but just lightly on my... pseudo-creme. Ooh,
Yeah, it does help a little.
it's aloe vera right now. I'm putting it on the cuts I've got on my back. Where I can reach anyway.
You're lucky you're a dwarf because you get the feeling every single one of those cuts had various amounts of poison in them.
Yeah.
because it's a good job Rennas didn't actually go.
Yeah.
I told you why. He literally would have died.
Yeah. I mean, it was good that Korgrin went because he's the only dwarf in the party, and as such, he was the only one who has a natural resistance against poison.
While it's all in me mind, Ulara does want us to break her curse because she is currently cursed by Cain, I suppose. It's a curse he put on her a while back.
Does breaking that curse...
Go on.
Okay. Just say, does breaking the curse risk the Taras getting out?
Yes and no. So originally it was put on her to make sure that she never left her post, but it is something that she is doing regardless, curse or no curse. All it's doing is making sure that if she does break her word, her soul would be absorbed into an object of Cain's, rather than go into Loth's domain.
Not many times you can say a ruler is in your anything, Korgrin. But this is twice in perhaps 2 days for you. You had a ruler in your something. Debt and in...
Covering Bella's ears again.
Just flashbacks. So I just completely glaze over it. That's something. The books I've kind of realised are actually of pretty big importance as well. You know the ones I got from my granddad's house?
Oh,
Turns
okay.
out they're like magical theorems into various schools of magic. You can do some pretty wild shit with them.
Is she someone
Tempted
we
to burn
want?
them.
Is she someone we want being able to do some pretty wild shit?
No, that's why I didn't give her the books. Not with what's in them. Not after I
Okay.
realised the contents. After giving them a quick breeze through. But she did say if we acquired anything of memento from Kane that isn't from the shrine, wink, then she might tell us. Otherwise, I don't really know what else to offer her. Obviously, I've not agreed upon it or anything like that. It's yet to be finalised. I wouldn't make any decisions without the party. But it's
Only arseholes do that. On their own accord.
something to bear in mind.
You just reminded me of one of my books is in the menagerie. I say my books, our books is in the menagerie getting decoded. I'll need to check on that when we get back up.
You're welcome, I think. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night.
And I take my pipe back.
Korgrin turns into his tent, and you hear some.
That was a great trick. How'd you turn into a tent?
Ta-da!
You hear some more silent sobbing from him before eventually sleep overtakes him.
Meanwhile, back in the web, Verity is just going, "Itsy bitsy spider in the forest."
It's strange, Verity. You can feel every single step the spider takes. You feel it for the vibrations in the web. You
I am
can't
one
tell.
with the web.
You can't tell if the spider is close or far, or if it's standing right over you, wondering whether or not it wants to eat you.
I am one with you, Mr. Spider.
His name is Barnaby.
Barnaby.
Sorry.
Down came the rain.
Wash the spider out. So, is there anything else the party would like to before turning it?
Just chilling out, drinking wine outside the tent.
Right. Eventually, after a couple of hours, Talion will rejoin you. Seems to be in a little bit of a huff that you guys left the town without telling him, but whatever.
He went off without telling us exactly where he was going.
He said exactly where he was going.
Yeah, but Talion, I mean, I tell you what, the first day you don't magically find us wherever we are, even in a completely different city, then we'll be
Start telling
concerned that you can't find us.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't magical. I asked where are the surfacers, and they said outside the town.
You're angry you had to ask one question. What are you moaning about?
Yeah, because I had to ask the question. I'm sorry, it's just been a long day.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have gone to sleep with the spiders if you really wanted to.
No, fuck that.
Verity's in there.
What do you think I am, some kind of weirdo?
Verity's in there.
My point stands.
Yeah, fair. She's lovely and she's our weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We've got quite a lot of slaves. I'd say maybe about 100 or so. Equal amounts of humans, half-elves, a few gnomes, a few dwarves, a few quaggoths. I asked about for some special stock. They got a few people. The Cyclops. I ain't seen a Cyclops before. That was interesting. They've got an Asima, female one. I don't think she's magical, but I think she's going to be sold for, shall we say, Ulara-like activities. They have a centaur as well, male one, younger-looking lad, probably no older than 18 or so. I found an elf as well, like a full elf, very rare. She's a magic user, so she could be who we're looking for. But I was just browsing. I didn't ask any specific.
Don't suppose you caught the name of the centaur, did you?
Were you on something?
Okay. Activating Keen Mind. What was the name of what's his face's child? Because you said he had a son with the centaur tribe. The guy at the life tree. I've forgotten his name.
Visera.
Yeah, he said he had a son.
Yes, he did.
Is it him?
They have the same name, yeah.
I had a feeling. Okay. So yeah, I'll just say to everyone, like, yeah, that's Visero's son. I don't know how commonly they replicate names, but yeah, that was Visero's son's name.
Who's Visera?
A centaur, shockingly.
Oh. Didn't know you guys ever met a centaur.
Magical life tree.
It's pretty cool. We've gone through a lot of stuff. Wait. You've been to the life tree? Maybe you've met him too.
It's a different life tree.
No, they went to the same
Yeah,
one.
same one in all the different magical points, isn't it? But
Well,
it's a different location.
I've seen 3 life trees in my travels, so.
Not a
There's
centaur
one-
guarding any of them?
No.
Guess
There
we
was
just
one
got
in
lucky.
there was one in the Ever-Autumn Forest. There was one in now the Ice Caves, and there's one in Maltokio.
It was the Ever-Autumn Forest where we met him.
Yes.
At that life tree. He was guarding it.
Actually, before I continue, let me just check Visero's actual thing, because I may be making a mistake here. He could have actually become the Guardian after Melody or before Melody. I can't actually remember. It was a while ago.
I definitely got the impression that the Guardian was always a centaur, which is why I used a little Guardian passphrase when we found the second tree. That was the link in my head. So obviously, that was proven wrong when there wasn't one in the caves.
No, Visero came after Melody's group. So, yeah, there we go. I was remembering the writing. So, after that, Talion sits down and without anything else to say, he's probably just going to go to sleep. Actually, he's pretty tired.
Cool.
Night, Italian.
No,
Good night.
Do you think we could buy the centaur as well as a magic user?
I don't know.
It might be a good idea if I don't go near the slave pens. I probably won't want to leave without freeing them all. I don't think that's going to do us many favours.
Yeah,
I think it's doable, and I don't think if it is doable that... But I'm trying to learn my lessons about making impulsive things, but I definitely don't want to see a bunch of chained up people.
Yeah, I could probably blag that I want to buy him to ride him into battle or something.
I doubt they'd care.
I was
To be
gonna
fair,
say,
slave
yeah,
trade.
yeah.
Once they've made the money off him, what do they fucking want with him?
That's true.
They don't mistreat the slaves either. Like, a broken, malnourished slave is worthless.
It's still slaves, though, aren't they?
They are still slaves.
Seen some slaves that are better treated than the poorest people in free villages. Goods and bads of every system.
That's the king's system.
I'd probably ask before Talion goes to bed. I'd say, is he for sale or is he just on display?
No, they're all for sale.
Did you catch how much for? Like, what are we looking?
Yeah, I think the centaur is about 1,000, maybe.
It's not even that bad.
I mean, he's young, so he did look a little broken in, shall we say. But centaurs are known for their wild individuality.
We're planning on releasing them afterwards. I'd hate to find one that wouldn't be able to function.
Yeah.
He's already completely changed to his life a slave, and we'd basically just be killing him by setting him free.
Well, you have every right to buy every slave in the city.
I know we're quite wealthy, but...
Well, the only thing they'll ever convince the Drow to give up all of their slaves if Love commands them to.
Oh, no, I understand that. I'm just saying that if this centaur has already accepted defeat and is already broken, if we were to purchase him, he was to help us, and we were to set him free, would he ever be able to return to a normal life, or is his mind already past that point?
I don't know. I did not interact with him.
But
It's hard to tell at a glance, I get that.
No, because he should be with his father. End of. I'm pretty sure his dad would help him out as much as possible with his son at the end of the day.
Even if we just directed him to the life tree. Like, just direct him to the life tree in the Everautumn Forest, let him know that his dad's there.
I agree with Otti. A child should be with their parent. Well, anyway, good night. He turns in.
So we're getting the centaur, yeah?
Looks that way.
Good.
The centaur can do magic. It needs to be a magic user.
We can get the centaur and another.
Oh yes, we definitely can. This is true.
It sounds like the elf was the most magical one that Talion found.
I imagine a centaur is probably above the average cost for a slave.
Yeah, the special. He's part of the special stock, which means he goes against the normal. Like a slave could be worth maybe about 100 to 500 gold pieces, given on the quality and the race of the slave. Special stocks are like super rare things that they're generally considered more collector's items than anything else, and as such, their prices are considerably more. So, the party eventually turns in. I assume Bellatrix and Otti are sharing a tent.
Yes.
You spoon. is nice.
Good.
Eventually, I won't say day comes about because you have no idea if it's day or night at the moment, but your tiredness leaves you and you eventually all start getting yourself together. Verity, you are taken off of the web after 8 hours and drop down onto the ground before the Quagoth, who smiles at you and says, "Well, I hope you enjoyed your respite."
Every second of it. Barnabas, catch you around, man. Dooby-dooby-dooby-doo.
And Verity skips off fully recovered. The
Wait,
rest of the party is
before I catch up with everyone, can I wander around and see if there's anywhere where I can buy like mushrooms?
There are a few herbalists in the market. Yep.
Like mushrooms similar to the ones that Arri and Korgrin had taken before.
Not those types of mushrooms, unfortunately. They had a spiritual element about them, but there are plenty of other mushrooms that will function in the same way.
Function in the like psychedelic mushrooms. I'm looking for drugs.
Yeah. There are drugs available, and they're actually quite cheap.
Verity, you're a child.
They're cheap and recreational in Harraven.
I would like to buy some drugs.
Decriminalized.
So you go up to one particular merchant, a gruff-looking drow, and he looks at you and says,
Drugs,
you say
please.
that, and he says, "How old are you?"
Uh-oh.
I am 17, 18 soon. I don't know what legal age is around here.
You know what? I don't actually care. There's no legal age here. How many drugs do you want?
How
Many.
much can...
Guys, I don't think Verity's ever leaving this town.
Yeah, we've lost her. So the drugs
This
and the
place has
spiders.
everything. It has drugs. It has webs. It has creepy
Crazy
spider queens
BDSM.
that
Well,
sex to
I've
get
got a
people.
number of applications that you might be interested in. This one will give you the best night's sleep and dream you've ever had.
I don't
This-
sleep.
He pushes one mushroom towards you. He pushes a few herbs towards you. If you smoke this, visions of unknown creativity will be yours for the taking.
Mm-hmm.
And he pushes a red-like sand substance towards you. And if this was to be ingested with some water or inserted in by other means, you will find that the world around you slows down. Your intelligence will be beyond measure, and you could even ascend to godhood.
Can I get 3 of each, please?
That will be 16 platinum, please.
Done.
So you can get yourself free quantity of psychedelic mushrooms, non-spiritual.
So what am I putting in here? So 3.
So free psychedelic mushrooms, non-spiritual.
Psychedelic mushrooms, non-spiritual. I am really bad at spelling. Okay.
3 bags of red sand.
Is this just gonna be red sand? Have I been mugged off?
No, that's just the name of the drug.
Okay, red sand. Just gonna put drugs.
And 3 clumps of I'm trying to think of a good name for this because I don't think we'd be buying drugs today. let's call it let's call them drow vision herbs.
Okay, cool. I asked the guy before I leave, do any of these have like poison side effects?
Oh, well, it depends if your body rejects them or not.
Just asking, because one of my guinea pigs is like vulnerability to poison. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally kill him.
If you're vulnerable to poison, it will make no bearing. It's all about how well your constitution is.
Thank you.
That's all you gotta say, bye.
Rennas would be willing to take the risk anyway. It's fine.
Okay,
He's not
so-
a long-term
And then I
thinker.
just wander around waiting for everyone else to find me.
Eventually, the party does make its way back into the town, and you see Verity wandering around with some freshly acquired bags of stuff.
They don't say it is in my pouch.
Oh, okay. Her pouch looks a little bit bulgier.
Oh, what you got in there?
So, the party is together. What would you like to do?
We're not supposed to be heading towards the labyrinth today. Was it not a first thing in the morning jobby?
You get the feeling that when things are ready, they'll come to you.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we should find some breakfast. Do they have like a bakery? See a croissant or whatever the drow equivalent is.
Probably be spider eggs.
Probably.
Place.
So,
Do we not want to guarantee that, as loath as I am to say it, the slaves we're looking to buy are bought, rather than after we come back and we find that they've been purchased by another connoisseur of rare and exotic goods?
The earlier we buy the slave, the longer we have to keep a slave in our custody before we can free them. Very
Better
much
ours
against
than
that.
theirs.
I mean, is it? We're about to go into a life or death battle.
Either way, they've been bought, they're free.
Look after our tents and stuff, and that way no one will bother them because they're doing their job.
Yes, okay. We could.
so
We're still gonna not accompany people. I don't trust myself around a party of slaves that I want to free.
okay.
Like the temptation I have right now to be like, I'll stick with Rennas and be like, hey Rennas, do you want to go and eat some sand?
Rennas would totally do that while they're buying slaves, but we do have a job to do today. How long does this
I
sand last?
know. Fuck responsibilities, y'all.
Rennas raises a glass of wine to that. Not too early for wine. First thing in the morning.
5 o'clock was 20 hours ago.
Yeah, what is good?
So, party, bar, Rennas and Verity begin making their way over to the slave pits. You had a brief tour about this previously. It is difficult to see, to say the least. A number of the humans clearly look like they're surfers, and they don't want to be there. And as they walk you past, a few of them who clearly haven't been slaves very long, they go, "Hey, please, help me! Get me out of here, please!" And until eventually a drow walks by with a whip and just whips to the side of their bars, catching their fingers. "Silence, slave! Speak when spoken to!" And they back away.
Arri
And,
flinches when she hears the whip snap.
So does Korgrin, but for different reasons.
Ooh. This is unfortunately an all too familiar. Well, get used to this site way too quickly and easily for your own comforts. A number of the surfacers, they ask you for help for many times. Clearly, they can tell you from there and that you have money. However, Talion leads you all until it finds another silver-haired drow male, who clearly he looks a little bit more well-groomed than the rest of the traders around here. He points him out and says, "That was the person who's got the special stuff."
Suppose we approach.
So as you guys start approaching, he sees you come in and says, I'm sorry, but I'm closed for today. You may peruse one of the others around here. I'm sure you'll find something that suits your interests."
How the shit can you be closed?
Because I want to be. You don't make the rules around here, dwarf. I do.
Well, genuine question is, I mean, if you're selling slaves, it kind of sounds like a 24/7 kind of gig. Fair enough. Everyone's got to have their days off. When do you reopen?
Whenever I damn well please.
I see.
Slave traders and dicks.
What if we told you that we were sent by Ulara of Elle and we wanted to purchase some goods?
I'd say let's see the money first.
I'd say show us the products first.
Well, what makes you think I got any products? What makes you think my products are good enough for you? What makes you think you're good enough? Any products I might have? I don't know you. There's no trust here.
I mean, I spent the night with her, but okay.
If she's saying you'll spend the night with Lara, then you have my respect and my sympathies, but many can say the same around here. Many of them aren't alive, but many can say the same.
Otti, after you.
I take 200 gold out the bag and put it down and say, can we just see your merchandise, please?
That's a language I can speak. You should teach your dwarf friends some etiquette lessons, my half-orc friend.
I think he's taught me most, to be fair.
Well, what are you looking for today? I've got 4 special items. I have a 5th on the way later today.
What's the 5th?
Well, that's a surprise.
How many limbs has it got?
4.
Humanoid then, fair enough.
Probably a dog.
He snaps his fingers, and 2 individuals walk out of a tent behind him. You can see an elf and a very with long silver hair, pointy ears, and she looks very mean, very brash. And you can see a female Asma with ginger red hair, very beautiful. They both bow before him. He doesn't even look at them. And then they turn to the left and to the right of him towards other cages just beside him. They start putting on some tassels. One of the cages, which is much larger, you can see a very muscular humanoid individual, quite giant, sitting down in there. He has one eye, and he's just looking dazed and confused. The other cage is untasseled, and you can see a horse-human hybrid in there. However, he's on the ground, and he's got a collar around his neck, which is yanked by a chain that sits at the base of the cage itself. He does look like he has been hit a little. He says, "Do not pay any attention to that one. He's still new. I'm still ironing out the bugs, shall we say."
Are you allowed to tell us their names?
Slave 1, Slave 2, Slave 3, and Slave 4.
Are we
They
allowed
don't
to
need names.
address the slaves?
If you wish. I don't know why you'd want to.
Maybe I want to know the name of the thing that will moan out my name? I don't know. Just Slave 4, what's your name?
So Slave 4 is the centaur. He just hears that, he just sort of quivers away. We on, master.
Is that the name that rings bells?
Yes.
I'll be polite and ask all the other names of the slaves as well. Just one at a time. Seems rude to just stop at one.
Okay.
You go to the elf one, and she just goes, Awis. You go to the Asuna, and she smiles and bows before you. She says, Elle. And you go to the Cyclops, who puzzles over the question a little bit before he just goes, Ton!
Oh god,
He's a lot.
he's loud. Well, how much for slave 4 and how much for slave 3?
Oh, really? You're just going to go ahead and you're going to request him without even making an offer? How much do you think they're worth? And then I'll decide if I want to do business.
I mean, slave 4, you said yourself, still needs breaking in, so we're purchasing a half-cooked good, but then who's to say we don't like them a little bit rowdier, eh? And slave 3, well, I like my mean, dominant women, so I don't know, 2,000?
Okay, I'm gonna say we're looking for someone to. Ideally, we're looking for someone who can help us carry bags, but have a conversation with at the same time. And we're looking for someone who is magical and we can teach magic to protect themselves.
Well then,
Yes.
he gestures towards Arwis and Ruin. Well, these two are what you're looking for, if that's the case.
I remembered
Of
numbers
course,
and not
if you
names
just
now.
need- If you need the bags, if it's just the bags and not a conversation, then I would suggest the Cyclops over here. They're definitely a power, to say the least. Catching him wasn't easy.
I think
Sorry,
if
I've remembered numbers now and
the
not
Centaur
names.
and the Asimar were magical, or could have a conversation.
The elf is magical. You don't know about the Asima.
Slave 1 is the Cyclops, 2 is the Asimar, 3 is the Elf, 4 is the Centaur.
I can put the names down.
It's the numbers I've gotten, like one, obviously one, and then the names, and I was like, oh my god, names. Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, so you said yourself, I think the 2,000 mark that my delightful dwarf friend over here said is about right. We need these people to assist us, and you said yourself that 4,000, if number 4 wasn't really broken into, so.
Well, let me just say you're certainly on the right track. The nag is not worth as much as the rest, of course, but he's still a centaur and is such incredibly rare, especially around these parts. He's more of a collector's item than anything. I wouldn't. If you're going to buy the both of them, I'll ask for 3,500.
Okay, I'm going to have a quick walk up to the cages, if he allows me to.
Yeah. So only Ton and Ruin are in cages. Ella and Arwis are effectively just kind of standing beside him, their heads down, looking at their feet.
Okay, I'm going to speak
Wait,
to
what
the
was the
centaur.
original offer you said, Otti?
Originally, I said 2.
2,000. Okay, so what about 2,000 gold and 2 unicorn hairs? And Verity brings 2 out of her bag and just kind of like,
What would I have any need for a unicorn hair for?
you can find anyone with anything of theirs.
Ooh. I am a slave trader. What can your unicorn hairs do for a slave trader?
What couldn't they do? And I mean, very magical components. You can use them to find quite a lot, and like, you're in the business of finding things, right?
I want you to make a... This is going to be a deception check.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't even know why you would offer the unicorn hairs as well.
Like, even if they found the unicorn, like, they could catch it.
You get the sense that he does actually believe you as you speak to him like that. Well then.
And it's not my patron, so...
Well
Because
then, if
he
you're
took this
going
from the other one.
to put these down on the table,
They're very rare.
Jesus. The Underdark has
I'll
changed,
bump-
Verity.
And like you said...
I'll bump the prices down 3,200 if that's the...
But like, what kind of insurance do we get with these slaves? Like, how will we know they won't turn on us, kill us, and then just return to you with all our money?
For the same reason, that one, he gestures towards the elf, isn't in chains right now, despite the fact that she holds more magical power than most people here. They are
I don't
broken
know.
in. They are insured their loyalty. And I put my reputation on the line to prove it. The nag, whilst he has been a bit of a trouble, I guarantee you he is fit to be sold.
Okay, I'm going to go up to the 2, Ella and I can't remember his name, the centaur, and
Rion.
I'm going to Rion. Did you say?
Yeah, Rion is
Rion.
the center. Yeah, there you go.
And I'm Rion. I'm going to just like hold a like, what languages do you speak? You know, basic knowledge about themselves.
Who are you? So you're speaking to Rion and Arwis or Ella?
Ella the elf.
Arwis is the elf. Ella
Arwis
is the
is the elf.
Asimar.
He's got no the Arwis. No Arwis. I'm just gonna, you know, what languages do you speak? You know, how old are you? Things like that.
For the enjoyment of my potential master, I am a young elf. I am 21 years of age. However, my magical power has been beaten into me, and now I can command it as well as I can breathe. I have a good firm understanding of the Elvish language, the common language, and the common of the Underdark. I trust this pleases my masters. Rion says, I can speak the language of the Druids, and I can speak the common tongue, and I know the basic undercommon. I am 18 years old in human years, and I am originally from the surface. However, my destiny has brought me down here for the enjoyment of my potential master.
I'm gonna like look around at the others. I'm gonna say, yeah, these 2.
Do we
And
not
like,
want to consider the Asaman as well? It feels bad leaving one.
Tom! Silence! Tom!
Oh,
Don't you guilt trip me into buying a Cyclops?
look at him though.
Leslie's face. I can't resist Leslie's face.
Asimar, what are you capable of?
I am capable in many, many forms of sensual enjoyment for many different types of people. I will make you experience things never before, and I will always leave you wanting more, if this is to the enjoyment of my potential. And she bows.
Christ, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Just group huddle, okay?
Okay.
So I don't have to whisper. Do we want to think about buying the fucking Asimar because this is sad as fuck? Or are we purely going to be looking at this objectively? We want the Centaur son, and we want our way out of here.
The Asimar has got no more of a different story than anybody else we've walked past today. The difference is that you've spoken with her, whereas you
I was
ignored
gonna
the
say,
others.
the only difference is, Korgrin, is that you had to go and talk to her like a stupid idiot.
Verity, you're not there.
Ah, I thought I was in the huddle.
You're getting
with,
high.
You're with Rennas.
No, we're not getting
No,
high. I
I
think she
wasn't
was saying she
right.
wanted
I
to do
said
that.
I wanted to, but I didn't. Because I came
you
in
did-
and I've offered him the 2 unicorn hairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you
she's
did.
there.
So
You're there.
Rennas is on his own at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I joked about that. Like, I wanted
Yeah.
to do that, but I didn't.
So,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I forgot.
in regards to the asthma, it's giving me flashbacks to the Vorpal soul.
Yes, exactly.
And that's kind of why Arri wants to get the asthma as well. And then, like, she'll feel bad if we leave the Cyclops.
We're
I
gonna.
don't know what we're going to do with the Cyclops, but
There are so many slaves. Like, we can't buy them all.
we could
Can't
buy
buy
these
every-
4.
We could buy these 4, but I don't know.
Just, like, where does Cyclops even live? Like, where would we put it when we...
The hill? I think
Got
the
it.
hills?
With the sound of Cyclops.
Oh no. I mean, beautiful, I loved it, but oh no.
Like, it would be handy to have in battle, but... Like,
But then,
I don't want to buy a person
literally-
as a weapon.
Yeah, have him as a slave, like how he's being sold.
Right, do we want to just group vote this so we don't spend more time than we'd like to admit pondering the ownership of another being's existence? Those in favour, say aye, of purchasing, either the Asimar and the Cyclops, or just the Asimar, or whatever. Those in favour of purchase, aye.
Aye to all of it, but okay.
I vote we just purchase the elf and go.
I want the centaur as well. But then I to buying all of them.
Mm.
I know we can't buy them all, but we could change it for these 4.
What are we gonna do with them whilst we're doing the labyrinth and stuff? Where are we gonna put them?
Well, the Cyclops would
We
probably
taking
come in
them
with
with
us.
us?
They're going to guard our tents outside. I know I'm not there, but I'm definitely not happy with buying slaves and then taking them into battle to fight for us.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't. That's kind of then using them as a slave, you know.
Guarding is the only thing I'm allowed that I am happy for us to ask them to do, and then make a portal to send us home.
What's the natural nature of a Cyclops?
Make a make an intelligence check. Cyclops are they generally make out meager existence in wild lands. They're usually isolationists by nature. They try to avoid contact with other races, and they try to drive away strangers from their territory. They're unsophisticated, but they can be reasonably intelligent. They usually just live simple, reclusive lives, keeping herds of animals for food. They either like living alone or in small family groups, layering in caves, ruins, or rough structures, stone construction they built themselves. Most notable of them is that they're not particularly religious. As in, like, they are aware of gods, but they just choose not to follow.
I worry that, kind of half in and out of character, that the Cyclops is not going to be able to find somewhere else to live because we're nowhere near where a Cyclops would be anyway. So that Cyclops got a lot of travelling by itself to try and work out where to go. The Aasimar doesn't know any different, and will probably get.
Yeah.
The Aasimar is already fucked. Literally, yeah, shut up. And I worry that she will get herself back into a situation where she's in the same place.
Yeah, so after hearing the summary of what a Cyclops is, for some reason in my head, a Cyclops was basically an ogre. And it's not. So it's not the type of fighting thing that I thought it was. I thought it was the type of thing that Reveled fight in, so I'm just going to go with just the elf and the centaur.
I'm going elf and centaur.
I think the two, I think they've got their best chance of...
We also have to remember that we have to get them out of the Underdark along with us.
Which is the teleport. The elf has the magical abilities.
It's the whole reason of buying them.
Sure that they can do that? Have we confirmed? We just know they're magical.
Elf, you said you can do magic. What would you say the highest level of magic you can perform is?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I just straight up fucking ask them if they can teleport.
On a scale of 1 to 9, it's probably the best.
True.
Thing.
Yeah, there's no 10. A 9. Oh well, not perfect. Hang on a second.
For her, it would be 5th level.
In worst case, you can use the scroll and we can teach her teleport if she doesn't know it.
Magic-y people that aren't clerics check that you can use teleport, circle, or teleport at 5th level.
Well, teleportation circle is a 5th level spell.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, it's just about to confirm because it's like that's the reason why I can't do it because I don't have 5th level spells.
Well, there we go. There's our answer. It's decided.
Can she do it if we were to get her the supplies to do it? Because we need to buy a certain amount
Loads of chalk.
Oh, excuse me. The slave trader says, this one is reasonably intelligent. She can pick up generally any spell that you put in front of her.
Well, that's splendid. So,
for obvious reasons, I've kept her away from evocation types of stuff.
I can only imagine. What say you barter with us then?
Wait, so is she
solid-
dangerous? Are you trying to sell us a dangerous slave?
Of course not. I've made every effort to make sure she's not dangerous.
But then I have to keep her away from evocation stuff. I demand a discount.
Oh, God.
You have been given a discount by 300 gold pieces for those 2 unicorn hairs.
Which doesn't seem like much of a discount for unicorn hairs. Because they don't care.
Yeah.
Well, no, we took the value of the unicorn hairs off as well and then gave us 300. Or discount, did he not?
No.
He bought the unicorn hairs
As far as I'm
Basically,
aware, last
He's
week...
reduced the price. He's reduced the price by 300 for the 2 unicorn hairs.
Last we
Yeah, keep
knew,
them, hey.
for 2 unicorn hairs, we were getting like 750 gold for them.
Yeah, that's on the surface for people who knew
Yeah,
what
exactly.
to do
For
with
people that know what to do with unicorn hairs. We're talking about a society that doesn't care for that kind of direction of
They're
divine
more
magic.
they're more likely to use the unicorn hairs in an attempt to summon a unicorn to enslave it. So
Exactly. Like, that seems kind of fucked up. I'd rather
I'll
pay
keep
the
my
extra
unicorn
300
hairs
gold
then.
for two unicorn hairs.
I'll keep my unicorn hairs then, sir.
very well. The price is returned to 3,500 gold pieces.
Let's say we barter at 2,750, and we also let Elle know that you're the most. What's the words I'm looking for? The kindest, harshest at the same time, best slave trader in all of Elle. And if she requires your services, then she knows who to go to.
Make a persuasion roll.
Bonk.
3,100 gold pieces.
3,000, and we walk away with the deal.
Make another persuasion roll.
God damn it.
God, just call me.
Oh, I don't.
Never mind. I jinxed it.
No. I do not agree to that.
I just look at Otti. You've got the purse.
Can you buy our slave now, please?
Korgrin's failed, but somebody else can try.
I don't know what else I could say other than being a brat.
They're not very
You'll give him drugs to take it down to 3,000.
Do you want some red sand? Is the price of it? No.
He reaches inside his pocket and pulls out a small bag and just jingles it. I have my own, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, you don't know I have drugs. I didn't offer that. That would trick me into revealing I had drugs.
Tell me, do you drink?
Of course I do.
I pull out a barrel of halfling ale that we've still got in the bag of holding, and I say this gorgeous ale is from the halflings up on the surface. Would you consider 3,000 and this beautifully smooth ale?
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I give her guidance?
Yeah.
I smack her on the ass and say, be guided.
And add your D4 to that.
That's fine.
3,000 and the bottle of wine.
Oh. It's steal me.
No, I'm offering the halfling, the barrel of halfling ale.
It's a whole ass barrel.
Halfling.
We had 2 barrels. We've drunk most of one. We had still a little bit left. I've been monitoring how much we drink of it, and we've got 1 full one.
3,000. A keg of ale of the halfling. And 2 silver pieces.
Fine.
I mean, if you want that last offer, then
Yeah,
no.
I'm just looking at
One silver piece.
Make a persuasion roll, Bella.
Bella wants to be included.
I will not guide this.
So you just boop. How did I do this?
Surprisingly, Bella is quite persuasive in this matter. And he looks at you and goes, I like your guts. Very
Turns out
well.
all we wanted to do was haggle.
Thanks.
3,000 and 1 silver piece. And the keg of ale.
Look, Bella,
Deliver
you've
the
saved us
game.
a fortune.
Yeah.
Bella has certainly helped today.
Contribution.
I reluctantly give the money over and the ale.
And he undoes the cage of Yuan he yanks the collar a little bit with the rope. Ruin gets to his feet and he leads them over and he clicks his fingers towards the elf and says, "You, this way." And they both follow him. The elf stops just behind him. He says, "On your knees." And she drops down to his knees. "Listen to me. These people are now your masters. You will do everything they ask you to. Anything they ask you to. You will not question it. You will not say no. You will only say, 'Yes, master. How much, master? And how long, master?' Am I understood?" "Yes, master." "You are relieved of my patronage, of my services. Go to them." "Yes, master." She gets up and she wanders over to you, not making eye contact with any of you. She takes her place behind everybody and just waits there. The slave trader goes up to Ruin and says, "Well, it's your lucky break. Now you will behave for these people, or I will hear about them. If they bring you back to me, all the punishments you will go through." Do I make myself clear?
Consequence.
"Yes, master." "Good." He yanks on the chain. He brings Ruin over to you and offers the rope to somebody.
I'm going to say, I didn't pay for the silverware. Take it off.
I cannot guarantee he will be under control if I take off his collar.
Can I look at the centaur and just goes, "But he does realise he's in a city full of drow, right? So he'll be on his best behaviour, right?" Just
Make an insight check.
little wink. Work with us, pal.
Morgan's
Oh,
flirting with the
spicy.
Especially
centaur.
if he wants to see his friend. What's his face?
He's certainly terrified, and and you get the feeling he knows he's not going to do anything whilst in the town.
They're gonna run away while we're gone, aren't they?
Yep.
Is that their own adventuring party?
You guys wanted to buy him before we went into the thing.
Let's make sure no one else stole them. Bought
Exactly.
them.
All right, so
I think the horse boy knows his place.
very well. He undoes the collar and basically slaps his arm and gestures for him to go over to you. Ryuan does take his place beside Arwis and just keeps his eyes down on the ground.
Just to confirm, is Arwis wearing a collar as well?
She is not wearing a collar. She's very well trained.
Okay, I'm going to say, and it's been a delight to do business with you. What was your name, sorry?
Oh, you may just simply call me Depravity.
Did you say depravity?
Yes.
Nice.
We shall be sure to recommend your services wherever we may go.
Remember, if you ever need the services of those who are less fortunate than your own, always call on Depravity.
Don't want to.
That is quite a slogan you have for your shop there. Anyway,
Okay, come on, let's go.
And you leave the other two behind. Yasuma goes back into the tent. Tom just looks at you, a single tear going down his single eye.
No.
Tom! Tom! Tom!
Bitch.
However, you leave them. Arwis and Ryuan are following you. They are not saying anything. They are not doing anything that could be construed as rebellious, treasonous, or anything. They are very much broken in.
Okay, well, I would probably go say right back to the tents. We'll take everyone. We'll all go back to the tents. We'll hold a conversation outside of earshot.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Certainly
So-
wouldn't be within the walls.
You guys make your way back to the area where you camped up. The tents are still there. So basically,
I'm at the
I
tent,
was
so
you up. So yeah, so you guys, so Rennas, when the gates open and you see these guys coming up, followed by two new individuals, you know for a fact that the transaction is completed.
It's done.
Well, it was shit, but it's done.
Yeah, that felt all kinds of wrong.
yeah, that's why I didn't want to go. I think I might have been annoyed, done something
Might have run
silly
into
in
this.
typical Rennas fashion.
Maybe you just killed the slave trader.
Pretty much. At least snuck around the back and like picked all the locks of all the cages and things I could find.
But the last thing we'd want is for the slaves to be shot on sight for their rebelling and all that kind of thing.
That's why it was the best idea for me not to go. Why do we have two?
Well, I think
fairly
we
sure
might
we
know
discussed
this
that before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you'd know.
One of these can do magic.
Believe it or not, it's a centaur.
I mean, I know nothing about magic. It could be
The elf
anything.
is for shits and gigs.
So, I can't say that name.
Rewan.
Rewan. Do you know Viserion? Which I totally said wrong.
Visera.
Yeah.
Asterian's the dragon.
Yep.
I do.
You can answer
but
truthfully to us. You're okay.
Yeah.
I have heard of that name before. It is a centaur name.
Yeah, it's the name of one of our friends.
And we don't mean like friend as in like another slave. We mean like an actual friend.
Yeah. A friend who's helped us a lot.
You are friends with a centaur?
Yep. And a
Yeah.
unicorn. Are we horse people?
You're
Oh,
horse
really?
people.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not all of us.
Hey, I am an individual who enjoys all creatures. Okay, spiders.
So you're a
like that.
fairy.
Verity goes to stare into the distance for a while, questioning her existence.
I am surprised. I think anybody was friends with centaurs.
He was doing a very important service. We met him, helped him in that service, and, became friends.
You are my masters. If you command my friendship, then I will give it.
How long do we want to go up with this whole masters thing?
Honestly, until we come back. Because otherwise we may well come back and they're not here.
That's
And
true.
I hate that. I fucking hate that. But, or we could take a risk and pray they're actually good people. They'll stick around and do us a favour for setting them free.
Let's not then. As much as I love it. Well, I mean, who wants to
Also-
inform them of their duties?
I know this is probably going to sound really bad, but I'm just going to keep an eye on all my magical shit to make sure that the elf doesn't take anything and have any ideas with it.
Oh, if Loic was here, he'd be so fucking angry.
I mean, you've been
Like-
walking everywhere with a half-elf thief, and he hasn't stolen any of your shit.
I know, but she looks like she's ready to bounce at any moment, and we need her to get out of here. So if she takes any of my magical stuff to bounce,
You can insight her if
then
you'd
we're
like.
fucked. Pardon?
You can insight her if you like.
Okay.
Okay.
You're broken as fuck. Trying to escape.
You get the feeling that she's the type of person who seems that if she is pushed too far, then all that training will be for naught and she will book. But
Well-
as it stands, she is very well trained, as loath as that sounds.
Like,
Stockholm
this is
syndrome.
why I wanted to keep an eye on my stuff, because it's like, she looks like the type of person who, given the opportunity, would fucking take it.
Okay.
And it's like, we're trying to give her the opportunity, but we have other shit to do first because we're stupid people who are like, oh, you want help with your labyrinth? Sure, let's do that. I'm sorry.
That went very high pitched. There are dogs barking next door now.
So I'd say to them both that we actually have a mission to do in the labyrinth today. Do you two know
Maybe.
anything about the labyrinth? I don't know how long you've been here.
I know nothing, Master. And Arwis goes, I also know nothing, my masters.
Just gonna insight that. Thank you,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, fuck. Oh, what a strong roll, guys.
They're very well trained to hide any emotions that they might be feeling, so they're hard to read at that point.
Fair.
Okay, I'm going to sit down with them, and I'm gonna offer them food and offer them drink and whatever they need. And I'm gonna say, so I am Otti, this is Korgrin, this is Bella, this is Arri, Verity, Rennas, and that's Bob over there. I don't give Talion's real name out, I call him Bob. And please don't call us masters, please call us by our first names.
Of course, as you command, Otti.
God damn it!
It's a step.
Kind of weird.
What we need your help with at the moment is making sure that our tents and things outside the town are looked after. Would you be able to help with that, please?
We can certainly do that. It was within our capabilities, yes.
Like, the guards aren't gonna fuck with them while we're gone, are they?
It's against drow law to interfere with other people's slaves, so...
Okay.
I imagine if they started running, however, then the drow keeping watch would probably be like, hey,
Yeah.
get back here.
But no, but this
Also
is
a
the
good
thing.
reason not to free them yet, because then they wouldn't be our slaves and the guards could do what the fuck they wanted.
Exactly.
I mean, there are always at least half a dozen guards on the walls on your side, so they're at least within, 60 feet of you, there are 6 drow. So
Do they not trust us or something?
No, it's just it's not that they don't trust you, they're just making sure nobody is attacking them from behind.
Yeah, they do have
Fair enough.
cultists in the area, and those are a huge infestation problem.
Well, hopefully we're going to go help deal with that.
I'm going to speak to Arris about her magic and ask her what kind of spells she can do, if she has a way of communicating with us from a distance.
I am good at abjuration and divination, schools of magic. Otti. I am also learning adepts of conjuration.
Hey, so is she like a wizard, or...?
She would be classified as a wizard, yes.
Okay. Hmm.
She just doesn't have a spell book at the moment, so...
You would need
So
to get her one of those in order for her to do spells.
Yeah, we could probably...
wizards know some spells innately, so...
Like, I imagine that's like cantrip stuff, though, right?
Yeah. There are certain paths of wizards who, if they specialize in a specific school, certain spells, like base first level, second level spells, they just become nature to them.
So I think we're going to need to use that scroll to teach her teleportation circle. I'm assuming you don't know teleportation circle, Alice.
Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. You can use a teleportation circle. It's not a spell if there's already one there.
Yeah, if there's one there, you can just activate it.
Which there is one here, isn't there? There was one outside of Arrabella.
There is one that Talion is aware of, yes.
Yeah, so as long as we take her to it, this is out of character, obviously, so we're not giving her ideas. But just to clarify the point, if we take her to it, she should just be able to poof, Poof.
You still need to know the spell to be able to use it, would you not?
The way I would, so if there is a permanent teleportation circle, you don't need to use the teleport. You don't need to make the circle to teleport when you cast the spell. The way I would rule it is that she just needs to expend the 5th level spell slot to use the actual spell.
Okay, that's cool then, that would work. And then we don't have to use, because otherwise we'd have to copy the scroll into a new spell book that we'd have to buy her, and then unfortunately we'd have to steal the spell book from her when she left so that we didn't lose a spell. But if she can just do it, then that's much easier. Okie doke. Do we even have teleportation? I've got it in my head, we've got a scroll of teleportation circle, but I've no idea if we actually do.
No, we have magic circle, but not teleportation.
The one that the high level one I think we might be thinking of is the telepathy.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
communication one. Yeah.
That one, which
That
I've
was
already
for
placed
Verity.
into my book, so I have
Yeah.
that for ritual now. Once I get 5th level spell slots.
That was the whole, because we couldn't actually leave this place without finding a way out.
After a few minutes, you are called from the guards above the gate. Surfacers! Ulara calls for you.
Yes, Ryuan, we're up. We'll see you in a few hours, hopefully. If not tomorrow, we've no idea how long it'll take, really. But just stay here. Get word that we're dead. You know.
Yes, Rennas, we will be here.
Oh yeah.
Can I leave them like 20 gold for food if they need to purchase some?
20 gold is a lot for food.
I have no concept of money for slaves.
So yeah, you can leave them a bag of small
Get yourself
some
some
money.
food, some clothes, maybe a bedroll, so because we won't have bedrolls for them. So get yourself some gear.
We shall purchase these as you command.
And if anyone messes with you, let them know that you're property of their servicers and thus they risk Ulara Vel's ire themselves.
We shall.
Good.
Okey-doke. Onwards.
I go to fist
See you
bump
later.
both of them as we leave.
They cower away from it.
Jesus Christ, you're gonna
No.
punch the slaves.
I like take their hand and like form into a little fist and like fist bump them both.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Master.
No,
I'm sorry we hit you.
No hitting.
I'll help
Let's
my
just-
fist bump out to like do it and just show them. Just like
It's a
between us.
greeting. It's like a hello and a farewell. It's just
Surfacers! Ulara calls for you.
Have
I'm
we-
also
okay.
have we got time to teach
Alright.
slaves to fist bump?
Oh,
Let's go.
I'm crying because I'm so upset now that I think that I've hurt their feelings.
Bella's got her arm around you like, it's okay, they'll learn, it's fine, it's
I'm
okay.
always walking there. I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, Korgrin, I didn't see you come back last night. How was it?"
just the things I've seen, the things I've done,
So much psychic damage before this.
and just nothing else.
Korgrin, you there? Hello.
I,
think Korgrin's gone deaf.
but a part of me died in that pleasure palace.
Oh, God.
Show off.
So, once you are near the area, you are actually given an escort of drow. You are taken back up the winding sort of elevated platform. Not really a staircase, but it's a raised area up into the tower area. You go through the gates and you're once again in the courtyard with the various bits and things about that just stare at you. You make your way up towards Ulara's throne room once again, and you are beckoned within.
Yo.
So, the first thing she'll do is that she will just smile at you, Korgrin, as you walk
It
in.
sends a shiver down my spine.
Well, I hear you've been busy buying slaves already. I'm glad that the culture of my people is having an effect on you.
What can I
Your
say,
web
Miss
hotel's very nice.
Miss Vel? You've rubbed off on me.
Oh.
Oh, that was a lot of rubbing indeed. How's
Again, covering up
how's the
Bella's ears.
chafeness?
What? Sorry.
How's the chafeness?
Better by the moment. Thank you for
Good.
asking.
Good, because I think I'll need to go for another round to see.
It would be your pleasure.
Indeed, it would. Well, I guess it's time that we plan our approach. Come with me. And she stands up and she walks through one of the other doors. Cuddles is staying in the frame in the front.
Follow, I assume.
So you all follow her, and you are led into a larger area with a table in the middle with a number of plastic pieces on it, like totems, figurines, the like. Looks like you found Lara's D&D table. There are a few other drow around there, all of them female, armored up. Please take your seats around. Just around the table, there are various stools that clearly have a few spikes on them, so as to encourage not to sit.
Like the pigeon spikes.
We respectfully stand.
Korgrin would barely feel a spike at this point, so.
Ugh.
Or would he feel it more, I wonder? It's just sensitive. Slightest little pinprick.
So there's been a development in the last couple of hours. Not a good one, to say the least.
When out of there?
The Mirianites have attacked in force. Now, I've kept the information quiet within the town so as to prevent my people from panicking. But they are already spreading out. Tell me, has anyone felt like somebody's been watching them recently? In the last few hours, at least.
Don't believe
No.
we have.
Can't say I have.
Spiders.
Well, I have. And I can tell that I was being scryed upon.
Mm.
None of us were being scryed on because we would have had to have made saves, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay.
I think the wizard who leads the Mirianites was found out through her magic that we were going to plan something. We were going to attack in force. And I think this wizard has responded in kind. They've already taken the bridge and forced my men out of the fortress and the surrounding encampments. They are already beginning to spread out on the fungi fields. However, they are slow on the uptake. Their forces mainly consist of undead, fresh corpses,
Hey!
old skeletons.
Hey, stop it.
Is that you, Georgia, or is that you, Verity?
That
Oh,
was
that's
Georgia.
me. Sorry, this one was
Rennas.
like...
I assumed it was Georgia out of the dark.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That
he
would
had
be
the
funny.
thing of like stealing my socks and then running around the house with them.
Yummy, yummy.
He is nasty.
They are
I'm sorry.
slow moving, but they are clearly moving with a purpose. They aim to surround the town as quickly as possible. Now, we have a little bit of time to gather our forces. This is how it stands. I intend to lead some of our forces in the north side of the fields and engage with them, while sending a smaller force equipped with the majority of our Quaggoth shock troops to attack from the south. When the enemy forces inevitably split out to meet both of us, I intend to send our Drider forces in to wreak havoc upon the encampments. Our objective here is to retake the castle, cross the bridge, and get into the labyrinth. Once in the labyrinth, my forces will split off into several directions in order to cause a distraction. I need you people to take the most direct path towards the shrine, if the plan works. The Myrianites will be too focused on my forces to notice you slip by and go a relatively unused passageway.
Now, a question for getting to the shrine is, do you actually know the route to it within the labyrinth? After all, it is a labyrinth. It's meant to confuse
There are
and befuddle.
3 routes, and I have been there many times. 2 of the routes, I am certain go across Myrianite territory. I don't think they have found the shrine yet. The labyrinth is designed to make people lost, unless you know the way. Cain showed me the way, and I have been able to teach some of my people. There's not been an incident in any of my people going traitor. Trust me, I made sure.
Would we be able to loan one of these individuals that knows the way, just to ensure our success?
This could be done. Or I could just tell you the way and point it out to you on a map. The smaller the force, the better.
If you're confident that there's no magic involved and we'll need physical guidance and a map will suffice, then by all means.
There is magic involved, but if you know the way, it won't affect you.
Understood.
However, the problem I'm currently facing is how to get to the bridge. Now, as you can see, the Myrianites have sent out their most devout followers. They are leading the way on the field at the moment. They'll be who we engage with first. But it is not just undead and Myrianites that they're sending out. They have also acquired a tribe of Fomorians to act as juggernauts on the field. And she points to the 2
Fomorian?
figurines. Fomorians are effectively underdark giants driven by madness.
Nice,
Cool.
nice, nice.
Maybe.
Now they are sending their skeletal warriors, light troopers at best, out to defend these Fomorians, as they are the ones spreading around. The concentration of their undead forces in the encampment outside the fortress itself are made of fresh undead. Zombies, they call them on the surface. However, these are directed exclusively by what we've been able to identify of a team of 3 key necromancers. If these necromancers were to be defeated, then the vast majority of their underlings would be destroyed. At least in a vicinity close to the link of the power that controls these creatures will be severed, and their bodies would be inert. The Fomorians will stay, as will the Mirianites. However, if we are to get to the labyrinth, what I would need you people to do, if you are capable of doing it, is finding a way to slip past these forces, targeting the necromancers, and killing them as quickly as possible. Unless you can think of a better path, a better solution.
Your Driders are quite agile, correct?
Yes, they
Would
are
it
very fast and they hit hard.
would it not simply be best to simply send them in as a more surgical knife to remove the necromancers closer to the fortress? After all, I can only imagine they can scale the walls and the ceiling of these caverns.
Their strengths lie on the open fields. As you
Right.
surfacers would call them, they are akin to cavalry. Once you get them inside clumped buildings, tents of the encampments, their advantage will do them little against the various hordes of undead that await,
Understood.
unless you can draw the undead out, in which case they can engage them in the field.
Is there any way to do that? I mean,
If you were to get inside and
I've
turn
only
it,
made
turn out.
I've only made a suggestion. I don't know what your skills and capabilities are. If you'd like, I can give you a platoon of my finest warriors for each of you, and you can direct yourselves as you see fit on the battle.
I mean, naturally speaking, in terms of combat, it's more likely that most of your forces, or most of their forces, would be driven south to engage the Quaggoths, no? So you're more likely to have a distribution of zombies, Mirianites, and potentially the necromancers if they need to be nearby to control the magic.
The Fomorians,
In
as
that
far as I
direction.
can, the Fomorians and the Mirianites and the necromancers are the only ones with free will on the field. The rest of them will do as commanded by the necromancers.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If there's heavy combat towards the south, would the necromancers not likely direct them that way? Lest they be overrun?
That is very much a possibility, but if I was to dedicate too many of my forces to the south, then the Fomorians and his skeletal soldiers up here would be able to encircle around us and attack the town outright.
Oh no, but this is purely based on the Quaggoths that are already positioned there. Well, there's
The
going to
Quaggoths
be...
are strong, and they can certainly make a dent, but I don't think they'll be able to overwhelm the enemy.
No, but they should attract more of the attention, no?
Yes, I can certainly see where you're coming from on that.
Question in character. Do they work as a united front?
The Quaggoths are mindless beasts on the field of battle. You give them an enemy and they will tear them apart to the best of their abilities until they are dead.
What's their side?
On their side, well, we have mindless undead. I trust you have fought undead before.
I'm thinking more their leaders. If we had a way to distract a lot of them, not all of them, but the majority of them, and bring some forces down here.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that if we need to get to the bridge,
she's putting on extra miniatures on the field to represent you people.
Yay!
Representation.
The cliffs around the outside, are they scalable at all?
They are scalable, but they don't offer much advantage.
How far is the other side?
So on this side,
Yeah. Well, no. How far
Uh,
is it to get across to be behind in that fortress on the other side?
From there
It
to
would-
there, basically.
From there to there, it will take an hour of walking.
Oh, it's big.
Yeah, but how far is it distance-wise?
That's a good question. At least a moment.
And how long would it take flying?
So it's about 3 miles
I'll say about 3
from
miles.
where they are at the moment to the fortress
Hmm.
on foot. So that's walking speed.
And like how far is that flying?
Flying, I would half it, so about half an hour.
How long is the bridge?
The bridge itself is it's quite big. Let me get I do have a map for it. Let me get an actual physical.
Okay.
Just a reminder that flying is a concentration spell.
No, I had a different idea, which is even more stupid.
Polymorph.
Because we want someone to go in and like kill the necromancer, sneaky, right?
The bridge itself is about 200 feet across.
Because I could do one. My plan was, and don't laugh, turn myself into a mouse. Have Toby carry me over there as an owl, so he just looks like some random ass owl with a mouse. Then he puts me down. He gives me like a little stab with his claw, so I turn back into me, and then pew pew pew, kill the necromancer.
You would be very close, surrounded by a lot of zombies.
You're
And no one else.
also assuming that owls are natural denizens of the Underdark, which I highly doubt.
They would attack.
I
The
just
necromancer.
good plan.
The necromancer is probably going to have guards, some kind of retinue.
And let us not forget,
The necromancer is a mouse, and then I bounce back into myself.
As demonic as they look, the Mirianites were or are human. They have free will about them.
Mm.
If we not
Yeah, I
try
just
and
want to
like
get that plan
sneak
off my
our
chest.
party through their defences? I mean, I'm just thinking we all go pass without trace, try and sneak in stealthy style. If we take out the necromancers, then the battle's a cakewalk from then.
We tried that when we went through Greenfold, though, and all it took was one simple mistake to attract the
I
attention of...
tripped it. I was excited that I scaled a wall. I wanted to tell my new friend Korgrin all about it, and you've been giving me shit about that for weeks.
Well,
Literally didn't even say your name, but alright.
But it was me that fucked it up in Greenfold.
this is the thing: is
Natural one. I remember that.
if we use a distraction and we have, for example, just an example, Toby fireballing down here, bring their attention over here, then we can sneak in up right over here.
Okay, so this is going to be pretty stupid, but
So that's like miles away. It's like this. Well, let me get my thingy up.
the sound of combat is pretty
This
good.
is 3 miles. That is going to be way more than 3 miles away.
Yeah.
I know. However, so you're saying that the Driders are quite nimble, aye?
They are fast, yes.
Can they scale walls?
Yes,
Human
they
me.
can.
What do you say to a pincer movement down here? Have your forces with the Quaggoths engage with the Fomorian and the forces down there, and from behind, the Driders encircle them, crush them in a cavalry charge. You don't need to worry about open field, because they can scale the walls and build up momentum that direction. Coming that way. That frees up your soldiers to the south, by quickly dealing with what you have, albeit you may be slightly outnumbered to the north, but if you're capable...
I relish the
and-
opportunity to slay more enemies.
and you engage in more hit-and-run skirmishes rather than all-out combat, hopefully, with the numbers advantage in the south and a quick execution, and maybe success there, Your troops to the south are then free to engage in battle closer to the fortress.
The only weakness in that plan is that it would expose the town to a frontline assault. I do have guards on the walls, but
Shit.
I'm saying it's definitely a possibility, but what would we do if they then charge upon our walls? Undead and Mirianites can scale them.
If this is a thing of before we're going in to try and like direct troops and we're still here, we could happily man the walls at that point.
But the purpose is to create an opening for us to get in at the end of the day. We're not looking to win a decisive victory, we're just looking to make enough of a distraction.
If at all possible, I would actually prefer it if you people did not exert yourselves until absolutely necessary.
That too.
My forces are expendable, to say the least, but the child of Cain is indispensable in his power.
Hello.
Preferably, I would not want you to see combat until it's time to take the bridge, but it is your choice.
How many would you say each Drider represents?
About 100.
This is a bigger scale than I thought.
Would 100 be sufficient to guard the walls?
It's more of a case of if they did go for the walls, they would then be able to charge down them with momentum and just mow down anything towards it. That was Ulara's original plan. And then waiting for an opportunity with, basically her original plan was to divide her forces up to the north and south, wait for the enemy to split apart to engage both of them, and then have the Driders charge in and just mop up, basically just take out stragglers on the ground and try to control the battle.
Alternatively, fighting commences, Driders hold back, forces divided. We ride in with the Driders under their charge, I suppose. Or we follow behind, and using them as an immediate distraction, we push on ahead and try and take out at least the Necromancer in the front. I don't know, I'm just making suggestions at the end of the day, but at least that way the forces are already divided, fighting's already happening, we're going under a bit of a dust cloud, so to speak.
Well, the way that Olara has got her eye at the moment is that she's got basically her shock troops are down here with some actual forces, and her specialized troops are up here. These tokens beside her represent her elite troops. These one represents her priestesses' war. They're the ones that will bring back dead people, heal them, inspire, basically. And then these people here are her magic users. So there are basically her artillery of the battle.
What is actually in the labyrinth? There is a thought train here, and I'm just going to go with it. And I'm sorry, Lesley. If, for example, is there any way that we could possibly go in disguise? Like some sort of cart full of artifacts, or like food for some monster in there that we are like wrapped up in the spiderweb thing, or something
Unless
like that.
you look like a Mirianite, they would likely see through the disguise.
There's no.
Unless you have some capability to disguise yourselves en masse, then I don't see how that would work.
How much is a Drider able to carry? What's the average strength?
A Drider's strength?
You want to ride a Drider? The thought had
Their
crossed my
strength-
mind.
Their strength is 16, so a good fair amount, I'd say.
Why not just circumvent the battle in its entirety? We get escorted down around the fighting over the cliffs. Take out that necromancer. Or even better yet, simply go to the bridge.
The
Skirt
bridge
it that
would be
way.
the bridge is where they're funneling from. I would not recommend trying to take it until we have our forces there.
So the end goal is to simply put, recapture the fortress, drive them back.
Yes, this is the first part of the battle. The second part of the battle is to take the bridge. The third part of the battle is to split our forces once we get inside the labyrinth.
Okay, so Necromancer's top priority.
Now I need to know.
What size would a Drider be classed as?
Large.
Hmm. Oh. Sorry.
Well, their forces are moving. We have maybe 20 minutes tops. I'm already shifting my forces out. If there's anything else you would suggest, any abbreviations to the plan that I have presented, please present to me. But I need to know what you guys will be doing in this battle. Will you be on the field, or will you wait for the Driders?
I genuinely think just if this is the best plan that we've got, it's better to wait for the Driders and go in, remove the necromancers. As you say, there's no point in exerting ourselves when we've also got to go through the
Bridge.
labyrinth
and
and reach the shrine. Ultimately, the leader's not going to be on the battlefield. They're probably going to be deeper in, trying to make progress in the labyrinth itself. So
I mean, as it stands right now, Drow are far more skilled than the legions of the undead. The only thing the Mirror Knights have on their side is that there is a hell of a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. Numbers advantage. You wipe out that numbers advantage by removing the necromancers, and suddenly it's not an advantage anymore. So
yeah. So So the plan presented at the moment, and I want to make sure everybody's on board with it, is that the party is going to wait for the Driders to do their thing, and they're going to charge forward, and then you're going to make your way into the tented areas and try to fight your way through to the necromancers just to take them out as quickly as possible.
yes.
Sounds like a plan. But for magic users, I'd suggest cantrips only while we're fighting our way through this stage. We've got a lot of stages left to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anything else that I can provide to you to prepare yourselves for the battle?
Anything to bolster our strength or magic capabilities?
I'm saving this for my troops, but support, utilities. Do you need any healing potions?
Oh yeah.
Always good.
Always.
How many do you
Korgrin,
need?
side note, I get second level spell slots back after a short rest, so if you want to save your spells, I can stick on healing if we need it.
Okay. Shall we say 20, 30 potions? I don't know, what's feasible?
That's a lot. I can spare maybe 10.
10's perfect, I think.
10 is good. 10 is good.
10's more than we had going into the fighting.
Well, technically, me and Otti may have bought some potions earlier, but we'll talk
Well, that's
about
what I'm
that later.
saying. 10 more is better than
Oh,
whatever
yes.
we already have. 15 is better than 5.
Very true.
So it takes a couple of minutes, but you are presented with 10 superior healing potions.
Holy shit!
My fucking god!
Holy fuck!
Korgrin, marry her.
We spent like $5 on a fucking superior one earlier. We should be given 10 of them. This is 50 grand. Let's just take these, fuck off home and retire.
You might need them.
Good joy.
So I suggest how many
Oh
of us?
no.
Right, so there's 7 of
Oh,
us.
Yeah.
6 of us. So
I
I suggest
already
1
have
each, and I'll
one.
take 5.
I
Take
already
1 each
have
anyway.
one.
I'll take 5 and fast hands them.
So,
Bob here, can I have one?
Oh, there's 7 of us, so we each take 1. I take 4.
Superior.
yeah.
Oh, we
So
okay.
that's 8. That's 8d8 plus 8. Arri, I haven't heard from you in a while.
I am still here.
Okay.
84. Was it?
Yeah, 8d4 plus 8.
Plus 8.
So it's either that's like between 16 and 40 HP.
Right, well, I'm going to get my commanders into position. We'll start descending down onto the fields immediately. I'll have my soldiers escort you to the walls where you can wait inside the drivers. Good luck.
Is there any chance the Driders could, like, 8 of them, 7 of them could be left behind to at least scale us down the walls and rejoin their comrades?
I'll give orders.
Faster.
I'll give
Thank you.
orders.
It's faster than climbing down.
And with that, Ulara and her matrons, her commanders, leave the room. You are escorted out quickly afterwards. And as you start making your way down the tower and out towards the town, you can actually now see, just by looking out onto the sides of the fields, that there is now a concentration of people you didn't see there before.
Just as a question, which side are our slaves on?
They are there.
Okay. Can they be brought inside the city? Can we send word to have them, the little tents, brought inside so they don't get fucking killed in a wave of undead?
Yeah, of course. Because that's where you guys came from. So you crossed across the bridge there, and this is Ulara's tower here. So
Okay.
Before Laura goes, can we just be like, "Hey, Laura, can we like leave our slaves and stuff in your place for safekeeping?"
you can
That's
bring
not
them
bad, is it?
inside the town, but I won't have them inside my home.
Yeah, they're pretty good slaves. You paid a fair amount for them.
I'm sure every slave owner in the town would say the same. Anyways, with that, she hurries off. She appears to be equipped with a double-sided glaive.
Oh, nice.
You can clearly tell it's dripping with venom. She hurries off, whereas you guys are escorted over to the west side of the town. You are escorted up on top of the walls, and you can see the fortress in the distance, and the entrance to the labyrinth is quite deified on the side of the cavern wall. The Driders are fully equipped, armed and armoured, and they're waiting up there. There are hundreds of them. They're just waiting on the sides of towers, on the sides of the walls. Gravity's not a thing for them. They can basically just like wait in any kind of position, and it is a tense moment for them. They are quiet, focused. Eventually, you can see Ulara's forces begin to move, and in response to this, the Myrianites, or you can see the clumps of soldiers, or not really soldiers, but creatures that make up the tokens, are moving in response to that. You can see the Quaggoths are immediately charging in. There's a lot of moving here.
Yeah, very fast.
Ulara, you can tell Ulara's unit, flanked by one of her higher guards, immediately engages combat with 2 units of the Myrianites. Whereas it seems her forces focus on engaging Fomorian and the Skeleton Army to the north, whilst her priestesses provide support and they're moving in. And already the battle begins to go underway. Hear it echoing throughout the cavern. About 5 minutes pass, and you can't tell how much headway is being made in any direction. You guys do have a few moments to yourselves as you are surveying this.
Rennas is just watching, trying to work out if... He's trying to gauge on the ground where 600 feet is, just in case anything comes within 600 feet of him.
Like I said, guys, I can always turn myself into a mouse, be flown over by Toby, and take out one of the necromancers.
Before the other 2 necromancers kill you instantly, as our soft, squishy sorcerer.
Just saying, it's a plan. Not a good plan, but a plan.
Is there any kind of check that Korgrin can do as an ex-soldier to see if any troops would be better positioned elsewhere at this point to send word for some to be moved, or is that more it's up for me?
It would be an intelligence check.
And I feel it would have been worth doing before the battle.
I mean, yeah, but it's only something I've just thought of, and Driders can always send word, of course. I mean, they're
true.
fast. I mean, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Normal, advantage, disadvantage?
Just normal.
I can't contribute shit to this fucking battle.
It is pretty intense.
Too many spiders for what you're used for.
Yeah, not quite what I'm used to. To
be fair, dwarf battles are fairly standard. I wouldn't assume there's the variety of troop types in a dwarven battle as there is here.
Dwarf kill dwarf.
May I have a go?
Dwarf kill bad guy.
Yeah, go ahead.
You may.
Not much better, but...
We kill orcs and goblins.
You can tell that the forces on the south side are struggling a little. And if one of the Quagos were to double back and assist them, or with one of the Driders were to ride out, that would assist them a lot.
Okay, I pass that on to whoever needs to hear that.
You
Who's
do pass
in
that
charge
on.
here?
As of right now, it's just simply one of the section commanders, who is also a Drider.
Good look.
So Arrabella, you go up to this person and you point out this information. I want you to make just a quick persuasion roll, please.
Can I assist? Never mind.
You say this to her and she says, yes, I can see it. I'll send a platoon out immediately. I'll send a company of Driders out. Thank you for this.
Not a problem. I'd rather not die.
So with Arabella's information, one section of the Driders ride out. You can see them going down the walls and scaling across the fields at an intense speed. And they immediately charge into the fray over here. And you can see them mowing down dozens upon dozens upon dozens of skeletons. And you can see the battle to the south is quickly being taken over, or it's shifting back into the favour of the Drow.
Do you think this is what our future will look like? War after war.
We are building an army.
It ends. What that point is, I don't know, but we certainly can't let Edgar win it.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the first actual war that we've been in, planned, premeditated.
Speak for yourself.
We, as a collective. Not all of us are as old as you.
Only 70.
Ooh, burn.
I'll outlive the lot of yous. Thank you very much.
Well,
Hopefully.
But not if you keep going off of me, you won't. Although at the
Okay.
moment you are the only person that can resurrect me, so you're my best friend ever.
I'll get cuddles on you.
I'm a little bit worried about what's going up on north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's up north with her double-ended glaives. I think she can single-handedly take on the entire army herself.
Point that out to the Driders.
They
I imagine they'd be hesitant though, because there's only going to be
They
one
are.
company left.
They are hesitant. They've already sent out what they can spare for now. If you are dedicated to that, I'd need a persuasion roll from somebody.
No.
She's taken out the Myrianites up there.
Not yet, yeah.
I was going to say,
So-
she's still got 2 cores of her elite troops. She's still got the magic users and the priestesses. So
It does look
Hopefully.
like Ulara's company and some of her elitries are actually taking on the Fomorian at the moment.
Dropping like flies.
if these two are engaging the Fomorian, is this going to reinforce this section?
Actually, no. This one's moving on ahead. They're going for the fortress.
I would have said to reinforce the artillerists, but
No, you're not down there.
What if they
Yeah,
send the
I'm not-
priestesses over to? Hold on, sorry, over to these guys, because then they could hopefully get them up.
they're
Okay.
probably supporting the artillerists right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean they're
You
right
can
there.
see-
So they
You can
should
see
be
there
doing
is
that, aren't
quite a lot of explosions happening over here at the moment. So
Hopefully,
Well, how
magical
that's go-
superiority is going to win out.
yeah, you don't know how that's going to turn out, but seems that now the Quaggoths are moving into the main horde of the zombies at the moment. At this point, Arri, Talion is gonna tug on your arm a little bit and just gesture just to take you aside.
I'll go.
Once he gets not a good distance away, but enough, like the sounds of the battle over drowns out most of the things, he says to you, "Look, if you get into any trouble out there, come find me, okay?"
Can't promise I'll see you. They all look a bit tall. But I'll try. I'm hoping I'll be okay. Keep an eye out on everyone else as well. Like,
I will, but I just want to make sure you're okay first. I know that sounds bad, but
it does sound bad. I'm hardy. I may be small, but, there's a lot of fighting.
no,
in me.
I totally understand that you can look after yourself. If something were to happen to you, I'm not sure how I'd be able to deal with it.
You'd get through, I'm sure. It's war. Unfortunately, we gotta expect to lose. You try and come out the other end too. You're a pain in the ass, but it'd be weird walking around without having you keeping an eye on us.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
It'd be quite nice.
With that, Talion returns to the side of the wall just to stare out amongst the battle.
I'll go back to the team and stare out over the battle as well, keeping an eye on it. I'll do another intelligence check.
Okay. You can tell that after a good 15-20 minutes of battle, the forces that were attacking the main horde were overwhelmed, and now the north section of the horde is moving out, and they're moving for Alara.
So I guess we need to take out that
I
necromancer.
was going to say it looks to me like we need to take out this line and then make a dash for this necromancer, move down to this one maybe.
We get behind that line, and
It
just go
does
straight
look
to
like
the
this
necromancer.
is. It does look like this is more than prime opportunity for the Driders to actually like move out. But
Well,
as promised,
yeah.
promised, 7 will remain to escort the party across the battlefield with quickness and hasteness.
Well, that's the thing. Like with the Driders, they're cavalry, so they just mow through this line, ideally.
Yeah.
And then we, with our group, would go. Fuck, wrong one. Where is it? There. We would go that way and come in there. Or at least we get dropped off.
Ah, there we go.
Get dropped off there, and then we could on foot. So I say now's the best time to go. Have the Drider forces push on, have us be behind on our escort, and then be left off. What I think.
Yeah, game for that.
Other suggestions are welcome.
Well, these guys are all done down here, right? So they can move up to support this lot as well.
Looks like the Drider's already going around there, taking the cliff route.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say we're smashing through those
Jack!
bushes.
I can't hear Jack.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Why am I waving?
down
My
from
camera's
Jack.
off. Damn it.
Fucking idiot.
Anyway.
I just like to be included.
Because the zombies are a little bit hardier than the skeletons were, they're not charging through them as quickly as they were with as before. The sheer thickness of the hordes are slowing the Driders down a little bit. But you can see that Ulara has been able to fell one of the Fomorians, and she's already charging forth with what force she has left at her back.
What about sending these guys over to, like clear out this lot?
They are engaged with the Fomorian at the moment.
Oh. What is that? I can't see. I'm zoomed up pretty far. I don't know.
It's
I
that
don't know
one
who's
there.
who. Come on. Those green guys are pretty, cute looking in a creepy way.
Mm-hmm. I think they're cute.
Come on. Fucking character sheet's in the way.
Still pinging.
Yeah.
I guess I reload, I'm not getting up any more sigils for them.
They're
oh no, Jack disappeared.
Weird.
Yeah, no, I had to reload it. I couldn't get any more sigils up. But you currently have 7 Driders on the sides of the walls. They are looking at you, and they are waiting for effectively your turn to move. Basically,
I think it's now. I think we go over the corpses, slip
behind sneak down the back.
The zombie line, but before that horde reinforces it from the south and occupies the Driders that have just joined the battle.
Oh shit, there's tents here.
So up that way, I think.
Come on.
Oh, my knees. I need to stop crossing my legs at my desk. Terrible habit for it.
I do it all the time.
You say as I'm literally led down horizontal.
I think we're ready to go, Jack.
No worries. So with that, you guys charge onwards, downwards on the backs of the Driders, who are screeching at their insane battle cries.
Bella's loving this.
I'm also screaming, but not for the same reason.
I want you to all make just simple dexterity checks, please.
Oh, great!
As you are riding in intensity at the moment, so
fucking the dwarf's more dexterous than me. God damn it!
Smaller.
He's
Alright.
Could
weak
Otti
riding
use
spider
your
people.
strength instead? Your ability to stay on by gripping.
Oh my god.
Hey,
I need
Korgrin
to
had
refresh.
experience riding spider people.
Oh god, why?
I was ridden by the spider person.
Who are we missing?
My character sheet's messing up. I'm just hoping it refreshes now. There we go. Just straight decks, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Tens,
Did I click it?
tens across the board.
I think I clicked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
good.
as you guys are charging off onwards, once you get out onto the actual field itself, there are a few stragglers around, like just pure skeletons and zombies, that are stepping over the corpses of the Meerenites, the Drow, and a few Quaggoth as well. You skirt around some of them, others you just mow down completely. The Driders are intelligent, so you know they can choose the best path. And as you're going over a rather large pile of corpses, a few of them lurch out, and one of them grabs onto the Drider that Otti is riding. Otti, you are thrown off of the Strider, and you skid along the floor a little bit. And as you turn to see, you can see about 3 skeletons are just stabbing into the Strider as she's just swinging wildly, but not making much of a purchase. The Drider is torn apart by them. The other Driders are continuing on their way. The rest of you can see Otti getting a little bit smaller and smaller. What are you guys going to do?
Jumping straight off my Drider if it's not turning around.
Should I send Toby to cast fly on her so she can catch up?
Up to you.
That's
not
also
a bad idea. That's not a
quick
bad
idea.
decision. Quick decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
do
it.
that.
Okay, yeah. So I've had Toby like circling us as we go. Once he notices that she's falling behind, Toby gets to her and casts fly on her.
Okay.
So hopefully she'll be able to catch up.
So, OT, you equip Wilma, I imagine, or HUD. Which one would you prefer?
HUD.
Right. So you equip HUD ready, and several of these skeletons charge towards you. Now, you've dealt with skeletons before. At this point, they're not much of a threat to the hordes. They can be, but you're not dealing with a horde yet. You strike several of them down. They smash upon impact against horde. You spin the axe over your head. You bring down another one that just simply crushes into it. And just as you're about to be overwhelmed by a dozen more, you no longer feel weight in your feet. You can think it, and you can move backwards and upwards without moving your body. You are flying at the moment.
Catch up.
I'm going up and out.
Okay, so you begin flying upwards and overwards, and the skeletons, they clamber on top of each other, making a kind of a small little, skeleton pyramid trying to get to you. However, you're able to get out of them.
Nearly the skeleton crew!
And it was just at that time that a small platoon of Driders come by and they start hacking at the bottom of this pyramid, and they all start tumbling over each other. And now a small scale fight is happening in that particular area. As you guys are charging onwards, you can see that the Driders are continuing to charge upwards. Whilst Ulara and her forces are engaging with the vast majority of these zombies upwards. You actually meet a vast majority of the Driders as they turn westwards and start making their way towards the fortress. Looks like they're going for the middle necromancer. However, you guys are able to continue making your way upwards and getting yourselves into the actual tents themselves. At this point, the Driders, they're not as maneuverable. They're moving about as quickly as possible. There are stragglers of zombies around. It's not difficult for each of you to basically just hack them down as you're going past. You keep on moving forward until eventually you get to an opening area where you can see one particular person on an altar, green glowing around him. He's got several armored skeletons in front of him. You start charging towards them. Can I get initiative from everybody, please?
Heyo.
I forgot to select my token.
I get a +5 to initiative and I got a fucking 8.
I got 2 and a 1. Wow.
Wow.
Sorry, I forgot to select my token because I'm an asshole.
No. Oh, god
Fucking
damn
arsehole. Fucking
Fucking
arsehole.
it. Fucking hell.
Fucking asshole.
Just going to pee quickly before we carry on. Ew.
Alright, so Korgrin, you're up first. There's about 30 feet between you and this necromancer with 4 armored skeletons in the way. The Drider lets you up, lets you off, and they're going to continue just like mowing around the outskirts of it. They're not going to be involved in this part of the battle. This is your job.
That is perfectly fine with me. I would like to run forward. I just want to check something. Short or long rest? Fantastic. Run forward. My 25 foot, and I would like to turn undead to see if I can get rid of some of these armored boys.
Okay, they need to make wisdom saving throws, right?
I believe so. Yes, wisdom saving throw. They need to beat my DC of 15.
2 of them do.
Fair enough. 2 of them go puff.
So,
If they're combat rating 1 or below, they are destroyed.
they are not destroyed.
Then they are turned.
So 2 of them, light shines from you, Korgrin, and 2 of them immediately falter in their necromantic power, and they start backing away from this pure holy light, but the other 2 resolute in their power.
And that is my action.
Alright, Arrabella, you're up next.
Okay, so I am going to use one of my arcane thingamajiggets. And it's going to be this one. So let's hope I can hit it. So what are the proportions of the map?
Just kind of theatre of minding it, but basically behind you are a whole bunch of tents that are pretty big. The immediate area around it, in front of you at the moment, I'd say that's probably about a 60-foot radius, and they're about 30 feet from you in the center.
Okay, well, I'm going to aim at a middle one.
Okay.
And hope that I hit it.
Okay, so you can. Do you want to aim specifically for the necromancer himself?
Yeah.
No worries. Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll.
I'm going to assume squib.
No, he's a fiend.
Oh my god!
I haven't used your fiend bow in ages.
I haven't.
So as you fire at him, it immediately lights up, and you fire, and that's a hit. Go ahead and make roll damage.
Okay, so he takes 15.
The arrow immediately goes through part of his shoulder, and it blows out part of him just from the sheer power of it. And he goes, and you can see part of his face begins melting as the necrotic energy has been halted a little. You can see the skeletons around you give a violent shudder from that.
Okay, and him and everything within him take an extra 2d6 damage, so...
Okay, he's looking even worse for wear now.
Okay, and then I'll use my second attack to just do a normal hit.
Okay.
Does that hit him?
That does hit him, yes.
There we go.
You can see black pus is pouring from his body from where the fiend bow has hit him. But he's still standing.
And that's me.
Okay, Otti, you're up.
I'm going to still flying, swoop down, and can I see the necromancer?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to swoop down, hit him with HUD.
Okay, make an attack roll. That is actually going to be a miss. He sees it coming just in time and just ducks underneath the blow.
I'm gonna do it again.
All right. That's a hit. You wedge the axe into his part of his neck. You withdraw it, and blood spurts out from it, and he's basically woozing on the spot at the moment.
I'm gonna re-roll that 2. I had to just check that I've got heavy weapons.
1 and 2, yeah, heavy weapons.
1 and 2. I couldn't remember if it was just a 1 or a 1 and a 2, but I'm gonna re-roll
It's
that
1
2.
and 2. Great weapon fighting.
7.
7 plus 5 plus 1. Fuck.
Yeah, so he's the wound in the neck is deeper. However, he is still woozy, but still standing.
And I'm going to fly away.
Okay. He will get an opportunity attack against you.
Go for it.
He's only got a shitty dagger, so he's not a warcaster. He swipes at you, but he does not hit. Okay, Rennas, you're up there.
Is there enough chaos of battle that I can hide behind something?
Oh, there's
Pile of
plenty
dead
of bodies.
bodies, or-
You could go under behind the tents as well. You can go anywhere, really.
Yep, I will slip behind something.
That beats his passive.
And I will SS Mantibow him.
It all sounds like a cruise, the SS Mantibow.
Damn it!
You have triple broken advantage, don't you?
I do have triple broken advantage. That's why I took the sharpshooter on. I always fucking forget it.
Yeah, that's it.
22 to hit. Okie doke.
Go ahead and add your sneak attack to it.
Otti.
Okay, you fire your bow, and it goes straight through his forehead. And he immediately collapses down, and as he does, he just bursts into ash, and it sends out a green wave. And all the zombies and skeletons around you immediately drop to the ground. But only the ones in the immediate area.
That's a bonus. Some less dead zombies. That's me.
I sacred
Okay.
flames and ashes. I help.
Pass a dexterity check. What?
Okay, so you can tell that Ulara's forces are moving in on your location at the moment. However, the immediate area is clear, but you can tell that more forces are moving in and slowly but steadily pouring out of the southern gates.
On to the next necromancer.
Would
Yep.
be best.
Yep.
This fucko here. See if we can get the Drider assistants to go
Rider away!
around the wall.
The Driders have actually been chased out of the immediate area. They were being a bit overwhelmed.
Fair enough.
Well, tents were probably getting in the way for, and we're probably better on foot in this sort of thing.
Well, that's what I mean, if we could hug the walls and just skitter along them, but
Now, are you guys going to charge through this, or you can try and do it stealthily?
I guess stealthy is the way you were suggesting.
Well, just as a thought, I mean, I've still got fly on me. Could I fly up and see what's around us first?
You can. So in the immediate area, say about 300 feet or so, all of the undead have fallen. There are a couple of Driders around that are just, trying to find the next thick of the battle, really. You can tell that Alara's forces are immediately mopping up what's left of the zombies that didn't get hit by that green pulse wave. It looks like a lot of the zombies are beginning to crowd in around the southern necromancer, or the middle necromancer, realizing that the necromancers are being targeted. He's calling his forces to protect him.
Okay, I'll probably let everyone know
me.
that, but I think that's where is it? I can only see the one, can't I? And
Yes,
this
that's right,
direction
yeah.
down here. Okay, I'll say that to everyone that we can go that way, but there is a lot of zombies that way.
do it. I'll turn undead. We take out the necromancer again, and they'll fall. If anything, he's eggs in one basket, I think.
Okay, so
Sneaky. We pass without a trace, maybe, or
Korgrin, are you going to turn undead again?
I get that back on a short rest, so that was the plan.
I can, if we get up to about 300 feet close, I can bump this right into the middle of it, and you can just hold it until we're there. Take out a whole bunch of them. I have Dimension Door, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
That way we don't have to worry about having to sneak up too close.
As long as we're not going to get overwhelmed, then we'll have reinforcements
We might get
nearby.
overwhelmed. It's a stupid, crazy
Well,
faction.
all I'm saying is, as long as you don't go too far ahead, then we should be fine.
Okay. I'll keep it in reserve, and then if we're starting to get overwhelmed over here, I'll just bump this over there. Let's go!
Okay, so as you got, so can I get stealth rolls from everybody then, please?
With Otti telling us which way to go from above, can we get advantage?
Well, she'd be
You
a
can have-
target herself.
You can have advantage, but OT would have to roll at disadvantage.
Hmm.
Never mind then. I was just being cheeky.
cheeky.
Play.
Oh, shit.
Hey, all right.
And that 20 is still 11 less stealthy than me.
Is scenery green or something? I can't see my hands.
You're flying, so the sky's green. Well, there's not a sky, the roof is green.
So as it stands, the Southern Army's been defeated now.
It just turns out that skeletons can't look up.
They lack the muscle in their neck to make them look up.
I'm sure that's not.
Like dogs, they can't look up.
So you guys begin making your way through the battle, moving from tent to tent as quickly as possible. You are able to avoid vast clasps of zombies doing this, and they are not particularly perceptive, and you are able to sneak down near to pretty much to the front of the gates without being noticed. You get within about 120 feet of what now appears to be two necromancers on the same pedestal.
It's like they want
Lining up for us.
It's more like the case of it's now near the end of the battle, and since the Southern Army has now been defeated, they are now just conjoining forces. All right. So, how do you guys want to do it, or how do you want to approach this situation?
I'm ready to Sacred Flame.
As close as
You
we
do-
can, and then
You will
rush.
have a surprise round on this.
Yeah, so I'll pick the furthest away one. Hopefully
Okay.
it goes well enough.
Okay.
Verity, do you want to teleport me in? Teleport
Yeah.
us in when Otti and Bellatrix get near?
Yeah, we're good to do that.
I'm all for it.
Teleport?
Get ready for the Holy Grenade.
Dimension door.
I have Dimension Door, which means I can take me and one other creature of my size or smaller 300 feet any direction.
I'm pretty
Ooh,
small.
fun.
Okay.
Like, I'll probably
So,
have the teleport like a little bit above them because we can't move into their space. So I'm just going to Dimension Door as right above them, and then we're going to drop down in the middle, and you turn undead, and I'll Sacred Flame or whatever. Because I believe it's Dimension Door.
so for the surprise round, is Dimension Door a bonus action or an action?
It is an action.
Right. So you'll be able to do a bonus action spell, but you won't be able to do an action spell because it'll be part of the surprise round.
Ah. That's what I'm trying to look at now. Bonus action spells. I don't think I have anything that's really bonus actiony.
Clerics
Okay.
don't unless it's healing or spiritual weapon.
So your action in the surprise round, Verity, would essentially effectively to be doing Dimension Door for Korgrin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I could spend 2 sorcery points and then cast a guiding bolt as a bonus.
What for quicken spell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can definitely do that.
Okay. I'm just gonna mark off my spells then. Hold on. I'm only gonna do it at level 1.
No worries. Can I get just 2 preemptive magic rolls from you, please?
Sure thing, chicken wing.
All good. Okay,
Wow.
so Bellatrix and Otti, you guys, what are you guys readying, or what are you going to do?
How clear is it around the necromancer?
It is pretty hoarded, to be honest.
Figured.
I'm also going to tell Otti, stay not too far from the ground, because if I get hit and lose concentration, you're going to fall.
And you're definitely not catchable. You're a big orc. I'm sorry.
No, I'd say there's about 25 zombies around them at the moment, and that's just in the immediate area.
Yes, I only really have
Sling the alarm.
Sling the Alarm, or I could Fairy Fire.
Wild shape.
Wild Shape. I could Wild Shape, but I don't want to use all my Wild Shapes now. I've only got 2.
How long do you? Is it long or short before you get it back?
Short.
You get them on short rest.
Mhm.
I remember I checked earlier today for Malachi, so.
Yeah. it's
The last
short.
one went down pretty easy. I think
Yeah.
just. Yeah, well, I wouldn't waste
Just
a
sling the
wild
alarm.
chip on
Should I
it.
just sling the alarm?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Probably
Alright.
firebolt.
Firebolts, okay. And Arri, you'll just be firing a shot at them with with your magical fiend bow?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Can I again get, before we do Korgrin and Verity, can I get attack rolls from everybody else, please? Am I assuming you'll be aiming at one person and trying to kill him and then going on to the next person? Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So this is a surprise round, which means you get your attack. You get the amount of attacks you get in your attack action. So, Otti, you missed with your firebolt. Arri, you hit. Rennas, you hit. Bella, you hit.
Harry also needs to do another attack action.
Oh, I'm not
She
raging.
cast a spell, so
Oh, fair enough.
What? I haven't cast
Oh.
a spell.
no. Oh yeah, no, Arri, you get 2 attacks, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That is just a hit. All right, so go ahead and roll damage, everybody, except for Otti.
Man's gonna blow up.
Bloody firebolt.
$40.
Right.
Just the
so,
red makes it look bad, but it's still 40 damage.
So the first person is immediately covered in arrows, and he immediately collapses down to the ground, turning into black ash almost immediately. Before the other guy can even react, a dwarf and a little girl appear in the air above him. Korgrin, what are you going to do?
Turn undead! Ah!
All right, wisdom saving throw from him, and go ahead and make any spell attack roll with Verity for your guiding bolt. Oh, he saves.
But everything else, if it's a 1 or below, is
That's a hit.
puff.
Yeah. All I'd say in the immediate area of is it 10 feet or 30 feet? Or
30
something?
feet.
Yeah. So all the 25 zombies are turned to ash. That's a hit, by the way, Verity.
Okay, so that's 46.
Mm-hmm.
What the
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What the actual shit is that?
There's a fucking Rennas roll if I ever saw one.
And
So
not even
that's-
I've rolled that in any of my guiding bolts. Fuck.
He jinxed
Oh
it
my-
now.
Oh
mean,
my
yeah.
goodness. So,
Well, someone got some advantage on him now because I'm pissed.
well, that's 8 damage. So,
Wow.
I mean,
That's a lot of
he
damage.
looks like enough falling in from
turns
the
out-
side by
turns
side,
out-
so-
it turns out he's vulnerable to radiant damage. So that's 8 damage there. So that's something.
Whatever.
Right, can I get initiative from everybody again, please?
Yeah.
Kind of pointless because it's only him now, and he's got a horde to protect him. But
Oh! Oh, baby, a triple!
12 from him.
Well, remember, whoever goes next, they have advantage because he's got guiding bolt on
A
it.
fucking 3 again. That's 2 initiatives in a row. An 8.
Okay. So, believe it or not, Korgrin's actually up first. So once you hit the ground, you hit the ground, Korgrin, the light emanates from you. A pulsate evaporates all of the zombies around you. And the guy just looks at you and just goes, "What?"
I hit it running. I'm charging at him.
Go ahead.
I want to make my attacks.
Advantage.
Bonk.
Hit.
And that is going to be with Divine Strike and then War Priest feature to bonk.
Hit.
So we've got rolls 3d8 plus 15.
Is any of that radiant damage?
Unfortunately, no. Divine Strike copies the damage type of the weapon, which is
Righto.
bludgeoning. Bonk.
Oof. 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 You smack him across the face. And he falls down to one knee. Blood pouring from his face. He doesn't really have anything left.
Jesus.
Arri, you're up next.
Almost pitiful.
So he's not dead yet, but he's basically
He's got 1 HP left.
Oh, man!
Wow.
So angry.
How do you want to kill him, Arri?
arrow straight through an eye.
Nice.
And with that, a pulse of green energy blasts out from him, and it kills all of the undead in the immediate area.
I mean, we looked awesome, Corgi. Totally not bitter about the 4 points of damage. Like, that
It helped, thank you. Only if it was 5.
You secure the immediate area as various drow platoons eventually catch up to you, including Ulara herself. She looks at you and she says, "Excellent. Well, we're doing well so far. We've had a number of casualties. The Southern Army was defeated, but we've made it. We've done the hard parts. Well, one of the hard parts. Now it's time to get that bridge." She
To loot the necromancers before you go anywhere.
Go on.
Can I help?
I mean, Rennas is definitely getting in on that. He heard the word looting.
Go ahead, make an investigation check.
I'll give whoever advantage.
Fuck you!
Have advantage. Oh, that's right. Better as well just roll, Verity.
I mean, I think you guys have found everything, so.
They have something on them.
Ooh.
They have a small, crystallized black shard.
Does that mean anything to anyone?
Is that something I
Does
could
it mean
religion
anything
check?
to Talion?
Talion doesn't like the look of it, but he does say it's similar, but it's not what we found.
Can I religion check it, or do we know
Yeah,
what
right.
it is?
Go right ahead.
Bonk. Not great.
If it is something to do with religion, Korgrin, you don't know.
Fair enough.
Okay, it's going in the bag. We can have a look at it later. Let's sort this out, and we can do something with that later.
War now, loot later.
So Ulara looks at all of you and says, "All right, I'm going to take what's left of my forces and we're going to charge the gates. We're going to create an opening. They have a little bit of forces left. Once that opening is made, charge across the bridge and secure it. This is your time to shine. We'll hold them. We'll hold back the forces. You take the strategic points." Are you
Verity
ready?
nods like, I totally know what that means. Let's go.
All right, and with that, she charges off ahead with her forces, and she begins assailing the walls. Where you can tell now, there's not just undead around here now. Now there are actual uniformed cultists, and they do look like the slumber priests from above.
Motherfuckers.
But they have headdresses that look very different from the rest of them, but their robes and their attire is pretty much exactly the same. The gates are open. There is a constant stream of undead pouring out. However, Ulara's forces are able to effectively funnel them away from the actual gates themselves, and eventually they kind of create a V-shaped opening for you as they hold back the rest of the forces, allowing you full front to charge into the gates. Now you can see Ulara and many of her forces have climbed or scaled the walls and they are engaging with the forces on top of the walls. There are ballistae around here, and they are firing. They are taking out a few things, and you can tell that there is a tower on the other side of the bridge that has ballistae on the side of it, and it is taking out a few of the Driders and the Quagoths that have tried to charge across it. And
So are we talking this side, or are we talking
yeah,
this
that side? Yeah, that side, yeah. However, the way is opened up for you.
Charge!
3 heavies in the front, squishies in the middle. So we make our own little V as well.
Feel free to rearrange your positions.
So, that helps.
I mean,
Let me zoom out.
I have
The
another
fuck
dimension
is that?
door on me.
Oh no, it's
Fuck
big.
again.
It's big and there's a lot.
Motherfuckers, look who is among them. The little shits.
I got surprised how Welsh you were. I forgot that you were actually Welsh.
Do
I was like, what's going on?
Rude.
you know who they are, though? They're the people who died.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Flint died because we shot him to death. Sora died because Rennas killed him. Cameron died because he got electrified, and Haggart got killed in one of the other fucking fights.
And now they're
People,
back.
where are you seeing them?
Thank fuck
Further up.
the
By the
witches
top.
back.
Not right at the top, but just below the.
Oh, I see them now. I didn't even see them.
Yeah, I was very confused for a second then. I was like, what?
I'm just very angry there's not a
you
certain
can't.
name among them.
I mean, you can't see them. There's an alt. What? Sorry, did I miss someone?
No, because he's not dead, but I wish he was dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Yeah, I
can't
thought
really
it was
see
gonna
from
be
this.
Bernie.
You can't really see from this direction, but they are undead.
Yeah. Motherfucker. I don't think you retain your magical capabilities in Undeath, do you?
Not to your knowledge.
That's
This is a special undead cult, though. Maybe they've developed some new kind of undeadness.
That's what I was going to say. Unless you get brought back in as like intelligent undead, sentient, then I wouldn't have thought so. Like
You
Flint
mean like me?
Broadstrike's still going to be fucking strong.
Okay.
Motherfuckers. This is why we don't kill people.
Consequences. I would have had a Butterby here, but he didn't really have any stats. So.
I was going to say, what's he going to do? Just occupy space?
Basically, yeah.
Steal food from poor people.
He's
Alright,
even undead. He's still fucking eating.
Let me know when you guys have finished rearranging yourselves before combat starts again.
I'm happy with that, unless people want to change. If you want me up front, if you want me on the right, if you want me on the left.
Well, I have another dimension door on me, Korgrin, if we just want to yeet to the other side of this bridge.
We'd be quickly surrounded, I think.
Ah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
Okay.
Although,
He's still flying because I haven't taken any damage yet.
So the ballistae that are on top of this particular tower are currently not being used because the skeletons and the drow are engaged with each other. So
What the fuck are these penis-looking things?
They're engaged.
oh, sorry, that's me.
those are giant. Those
Either
are
way.
Lara's giant spiders. They're
Oh.
cuddles basically.
Oh, I don't like those. Mm-mm.
She has summoned them to assist her in battle. So
Just a quick mechanics thing, Jack. If I was to take the time now to switch from bow to shield, I could stow the bow safely on my back because I'm not in the middle of combat.
yes, yeah, you're not in, like this is
Consider that done.
as you're going into combat. So
Did we want Corgi up front for the turn on dead stuff, or it doesn't really matter? Any
I don't have any more.
Oh, you've
Turn
used
undead.
them. Yeah, okay.
I need a short rest, unfortunately.
yeah,
That's
these
fine.
guys here, these are what look like the Slumber Priests.
Wait, am I zoomed out?
The spiky
Okay.
haired people.
I see.
Yeah,
Big
they're the
map.
headdresses. So you got another Fomorian, some trolls, some skeletal cavalry at the very end as well as the fact that these people up here are currently on the ballistae and they have got full view of the bridge at the moment. All right, can I get everybody's initiative, please?